Westmoreland on our Rebuilding Jamaica post-Melissa Relief OB series. And we're broadcasting live from 2 locations, Maud McLeod High School in Darlaston and Marzuka Garage in Savannah Lamar. So we're calling all residents of Darlaston and surrounding communities, Cottage, Venture Hall, Betheltown, Caledonia, Leamington, and everyone in Savannah Lamar. Come out and join us. We'll be bringing care packages, mattresses, and more, while our partners, the National Health Fund, will offer free screenings. Come share your stories, talk with our hosts, and let Jamaica hear how you and your families are rebuilding after Hurricane Melissa. Nationwide 90 FM, helping to rebuild Jamaica one community at a time. This outreach is made possible by NHF, Kemlani Mart, Marzuka Garage, NSWMA, and the Ministry of Labor and Social Security.
Ready to tackle that building project? Start right. Start here at H&L Rapid True Value for building supplies. The time by H&L Rapid True Value is
Nationwide time, 5 o'clock.
From the Nationwide News Network, comprehensive, incisive, tough. This is Nationwide at 5.
Good afternoon, I'm Ricardo Brooks.
And I'm Robianne Williams.
In Nationwide news at this hour, nearly 2,000 tourism workers facing unemployment as Bahia Principe closes indefinitely.
Mark Golding says $10 million not enough to meet housing needs in parishes hardest hit by Hurricane Melissa.
Started something with the MPs, but it's $10 million Jamaican, that's not going to do a whole lot.
The country's point-to-point inflation rate has risen slightly.
The IMF says the Jamaican government has expressed no need for hurricane support at this time.
Despite protests from the defense, the judge rules Royal Reed's fraud trial will continue.
In news from the rest of the world, nations hit by Hurricane Melissa tell officials at COP30 to act.
U.S. federal agents have arrested 130 people in 2 days in North Carolina.
In headline sports, a reigning Olympic sprint champion pushes back against plans to stage all 3 rounds of the women's 100-meter on the same day at the 2028 LA Games.
And later in our broadcast, in the cover story at 5:35, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness, along with CARICOM leaders, a high-level delegation of government ministers and officials toured areas of Western Jamaica today. The Information Minister, Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon, will join us with an update.
In Public Opinion at 6:26, we ask, what have you done for the Hurricane Melissa relief effort? Give us your comments by logging on to our Facebook page, Nationwide News Network, and by tweeting us at Nationwide Radio and message us on WhatsApp at 876-285-5693. You can also leave your comments on Instagram at Nationwide 90 FM.
In the nation's business at 6:40, Climate Change Minister Matthew Samuda has called on developed countries to improve their contributions to the International Loss and Damage Fund for the benefit of small island developing states affected by intense weather events.
Call on the global community, especially major emitters, to honor their commitments. For Jamaica, this is survival. It's about our people and their right to a safe and prosperous future.
The Climate Minister will join us.
At 7, Trinidad and Tobago has welcomed the arrival of the United States Marine Corps' 22nd Marine Expeditionary Unit in the island as troops are set to conduct nighttime training throughout the country this week. Trinidad-based political analyst Derek Ramsamouj will join us.
All these and more as we take you home on air, on your mobile, Nationwide 90 FM, RevoNews.ai, and on the Revo News app. It's available on the Google Play and the App Store. This Monday afternoon, it's Monday, November 17, 2025.
If it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM.
And now to the details. Nearly 2,000 workers at the Bahia Principe Resorts in Runaway Bay St. Anne are this afternoon facing unemployment following redundancy letters issued by the hotel's management in the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa. The redundancies are sending jitters across western parishes as resort properties are a key mode of employment for thousands of Jamaicans. The matter has caught the attention of the Bustamante Industrial Trade Union, the BITU, which is calling for the urgent intervention of the Labour Ministry. Colicia Wright has the details.
The management of Bahia Principe Grand Jamaica and Bahia Principe Luxury says the decision was taken to cease operations at the resorts in light of ongoing renovations. It's understood the resort suffered extensive damage during the passage of the hurricane. The planned closure is indefinite. Bahia's management says this will trigger a redundancy exercise across both resorts. Nationwide sources say just about 1,800 tourism workers will be affected. Bahia noted that it has arrangements in place to assist employees who wish to seek alternative employment or counseling. It says it will be working closely with the Bustamante Industrial Trade Union, BITU, to ensure effective communication and transparency. But BITU boss Kavan Gale says the matter is now serious enough to require the attention of the Labour Ministry.
We thought we were still in discussions with them as to how we could mitigate against any job losses. On Friday, the hotel, through its attorneys, would have sent a letter to us indicating their new intention to close both properties indefinitely, and that information would have been cascaded to all employees. It is against that background that the BITU has formally written to the Ministry of Labour requesting its intervention in what now appears to be an impasse between the union representing the workers and the management of Bahia Principe.
The BITU says it has been in constant dialogue with the hotel's management after it was notified of a proposed one-year closure for refurbishing. The union says it has been advocating from day one against any move toward mass redundancy and pressed the company to explore all available options to avoid job losses. BITU says despite these conversations, the hotel's management still advised staff of the hotel's indefinite closure and signaled the beginning of the redundancy exercise. Mr. Gale says the Jamaican government must ensure that all relevant labor laws are enforced.
We have asked for a halt to any redundancy action until discussions are properly concluded, and we are further requesting the Ministry of Labour to provide guidance to the management of the hotel to ensure that it meets its obligations under the Labour Relations Code and any other applicable standards that are usually applied in Jamaica. In this instance, the employment and livelihood of thousands of workers and their families are now hanging in the balance. And so we expect the ministry's swift intervention to protect workers' rights and to ensure that proper procedures are respected.
The hotel's management has declined to speak on the record, but our sources say the brand remains committed to Jamaica and will not pull out of the country. Colicia Wright for Nationwide News.
Opposition leader Mark Golding says the $10 million provided to members of parliament in parishes worst affected by Hurricane Melissa is not enough to respond to the housing needs.
I'm hoping that the government will commence a program. They started something with the MPs, but it's $10 million Jamaican, that's not going to do a whole lot. So it's the needs are so enormous in this part of Jamaica that it really needs a national program to be rolled out. And I'm sure, that will happen, but it's just how quickly. So people are going to have to be patient, because it's not going to be overnight. But, we're just here to show solidarity with the people and, show them that one Jamaica, one united country, we're all working to try and make the situation better.
Mr. Golding was speaking during a tour of the parishes of St. James and Westmoreland, and on Monday, Prime Minister Andrew Holness announced that $10 million will be allocated to each member of parliament as part of a building support initiative. The opposition leader says the concerns of Westmoreland were slow to come to public attention.
With this particular tragedy, Melissa tragedy, I think that the light was slow to be shined on Westmoreland. Because I don't know why that was, but there was a lot of focus on southwest St. Elizabeth, in particular Black River and so on early on, and the devastation down there was very real. So one can't grudge that. But truth is that the whole sway from sort of there going westwards and then northwards has been terrible. So it's a massive calamity which much of Westmoreland is affected by. also much of St. James, Southern St. James, much of Hanover, and St. Elizabeth as well. So, we all need to just pull together and recognize that this is a big thing that's happened. It's covering a third of Jamaica, roughly, in area.
Mark Golding, opposition leader.
The International Monetary Fund, the IMF, says the Jamaican government has expressed no interest at this time in support from the fund in the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa. But the fund's Director of Communications, Julie Kozak, says the fund stands ready to assist if that position changes.
We're in close dialogue with the authorities, as I said. They have not expressed interest in fund financial support, but of course we stand ready to assist them in any way that they see fit, whether it be policy advice, any technical assistance, liaising with international partners, looking at the macro framework, or of course, should they request it, fund financial support.
Ms. Kozak was speaking at the IMF's regular media briefing recently. Jamaica and the IMF have had a long and complicated history. The country's former finance minister, Dr. Nigel Clark, is a current deputy managing director of the fund. The last arrangements with the fund, the Precautionary and Liquidity Line, PLL, and Resilience and Sustainability Facility, RSF, officially concluded in August 2024. Previously described as a basket case by the fund's directors, Jamaica is now considered the poster child for what's possible through an IMF-led reform program. It's this strong reform that Ms. Kozak says has put the country in good stead to respond to Hurricane Melissa.
In terms of Jamaica specifically, we are in touch with the authorities. Our preliminary assessment, based on our discussions with the authorities and our deep knowledge of Jamaica, is that Jamaica has buffers to finance the immediate disaster-related spending needs. Jamaica has a strong fiscal and external position, a very sound policy framework, and it has established a comprehensive, multi-layered risk financing framework that comprises both domestic and external instruments.
That's Julie Kozak, Director of Communications at the International Monetary Fund.
The country's point-to-point inflation rate rose slightly in October. It now stands at 2.9%. That's up from the 2.1% from the previous month. That's according to the Statistical Institute of Jamaica, Statin, in a release on Monday. But Statin says price collection for the month of October was conducted from the 6th to the 11th and in the third week from October 20 to 25. This was before the passage of Hurricane Melissa. The rate was influenced mainly by the point-to-point inflation for the division's food and non-alcoholic beverages, housing, water, electricity, gas, and other fuels, and restaurant and accommodation services. The point-to-point inflation rate remains below the Bank of Jamaica's target range of 4 to 6% for the fifth month in a row.
The executive director of the Jamaica Accountability Meter Portal, JAM, Jeanette Calder, is welcoming the real-time audits of Hurricane Melissa relief efforts being conducted by the Auditor General, Pamela Monroe Ellis. Ms. Calder says the move is a good look for the country.
Even if nothing goes wrong, and we are hoping it doesn't, it is such a good look. Try and think of it. Somebody has come and given us like $1 billion. Don't you think it would look good for Jamaica to say to the person, to the entity, to that government, this is what we're putting in place to reassure you that we have not only done the right thing, but we can demonstrate to you that we have done the right thing. Here are the reports. It looks good, builds trust, and so the next time around if we need help, it's not going to be that hard because that donor is going to say, boy, me never even have to pressure the government. They just handed me a report at the end of this. And I think that is also very important.
Ms. Calder was a guest on the Jamaicans for Justice JFJ-produced show Let's Talk Justice today. The Auditor General's Department is conducting a real-time audit to assess the accountability mechanisms in place for resources received and utilized under the Hurricane Melissa Relief Initiative. The department is seeking to determine whether internal controls are adequate to prevent potential fraud, waste, and abuse of public resources during the disaster response and recovery. In conducting its audit, the Auditor General's Department will also assess whether proper information technology controls exist over the Support Jamaica platform. But Ms. Calder says a multi-sectoral committee is still required to fill gaps that the Auditor General's department is unable to.
She can't audit everything. The department can't audit all ministries. Therefore, Michael, there has to be some other accountability measures in place. And one of it, which I'm sure we'll get into further, is the question of a committee, a multi-sectoral committee who is also working with the Auditor General and all the departments and agencies to watch two things: the flow of money coming in and the flow of the supplies coming in, and getting reports in real time as to where they are.
That's Jeanette Calder, the Executive Director of the Jamaica Accountability Meter Portal, JAMP.
Meanwhile, Director of National Integrity Action, Professor Trevor Monroe, is urging the government to reactivate the National Partnership Council to provide additional oversight of the Hurricane Melissa relief effort. He says there is no need to create a new body to manage this process.
We don't need to reinvent the wheel, thankfully. There's a National Partnership Council on which has been sitting since 2011 when it got formally established. Both the government and the opposition, as well as the trade union movement, private sector, representatives from women, youth and academic groups. And this National Partnership Council has been strongly endorsed by Roger Simpson Miller, then Bruce Golding, and now Prime Minister Holness himself, who has a promise that the National Partnership Council will be strengthened in terms of secretariat and administrative capacities, as well as, I believe he said in his presentation to Parliament, not last Tuesday, the one before, that the National Partnership Council will be reactivated.
The parliamentary opposition has refused to take part in a joint select committee being established to oversee aspects of the Hurricane Melissa response. Instead, the opposition called for a wider, multi-stakeholder group comprising parliamentarians, civil society and other interested parties. The PNP says a joint select committee would usurp the role of the opposition-chaired Public Administration and Appropriations Committee, PAAC. But Professor Monroe says the position adopted by the opposition is unfortunate.
I think the PNP's reluctance or reflection and saying they're not going to join is unfortunate, because even if it isn't to some extent redundant or going to overlap with the functions of the Public Administration's Appropriation Committee, it nevertheless will provide a signal to the country that the people can go to Parliament under the mechanisms of the Joint Select Committee, make their submissions in public and be heard by both sides of the membership in that Joint Select Committee, which includes senators as well. And since I'm on the point of the Senate, it's of some concern to me that since the new Parliament has been sworn in, the Senate has not met.
Professor Trevor Monroe, Director of National Integrity Action.
You're listening to the news on Nationwide at 5. We'll have more after these.
See twice the style for less at IQ Optical. Buy one pair of glasses and get your second and third pair half price. Don't miss out. Call 876-929-7732 or visit IQ Optical today, where clarity never looked sharper.
The time by IQ Optical is...
It's 17 minutes after 5.
Termites, rodents, or birds infesting your home or office? Call Rentokil Initial, the pest expert, at 876-926-4236 for a free pest assessment island-wide. The time by Rentokil Initial is
27 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 29 out west in Montego Bay.
This is a public service announcement from JPS. JPS is urging customers not to pay anyone to have their electricity service reconnected. Customers are reminded that unauthorized reconnections can be extremely dangerous and can result in serious injury, electrocution, or damage to property. This practice is unethical, illegal, and could delay restoration efforts. If anyone claiming to represent JPS requests payment for reconnection services, report it immediately to the nearest police station or JPS. JPS thanks all customers for their patience as teams continue working to restore power safely and as quickly as possible. That was a public service announcement from JPS.
Continuing the news now, and we go to the courts. Senior Parish Judge Sansia Burrell has ruled that the multi-million-dollar fraud trial involving former Education Minister Ruel Reid and former President of the Caribbean Maritime University CMU, Fritz Pinnock, will continue. She rejected arguments from the defense that the proceedings were a nullity. The ruling followed several days of detailed submissions from both the defense and the prosecution. Robian Williams was there.
The defense had argued that the indictment was defective, noting that it failed to reference 3 of the 5 accused. Attorney Hugh Wildman said this omission meant the individuals were not properly before the court and that the entire proceedings were therefore void. Additional objections related to the admissibility of a document the prosecution intends to enter into evidence, with the defense claiming it was hearsay. Judge Sanchia Burrell acknowledged that the prosecutors could have been more precise in drafting the indictment and noted the absence of cross-referenced information. But she stressed that the omission did not invalidate the indictment or render the trial a nullity. She pointed out that amendments to the criminal law now permit the joint trial of the types of offenses. The judge also dismissed defense objections regarding the alleged hearsay document. Throughout the ruling, the defendants sat expressionless in the dock. After the lunch break, the trial resumed with testimony from a representative of the Major Organized Crime and Anti-Corruption Agency, MOCA, who was asked to identify a document. The document was a recorded statement from Reed's now deceased driver. The document was marked for identification, prompting Judge Burrell to question why this step was being taken. Before the prosecutor could respond, Wildman objected, arguing that the judge appeared to be assisting the prosecutors. He cited Section 16(2) of the Charter of Fundamental Rights, which guarantees an independent and impartial tribunal, and referenced a recent Court of Appeal decision that overturned a conviction on similar grounds. Judge Burrell disagreed with his submission and allowed the matter to proceed. The prosecutor clarified that they considered the process to be a voir dire, requiring the document to be marked before legal submissions. With no further objections from the defense, the voir dire continued in the absence of the witness. A voir dire is a procedure used by a judge to determine specific legal issues during a trial. Reed's wife, Sharon Reed, his daughter, Cheryl Reed, and Jamaica Labour Party councillor for the Brownstown Division in St. Anne, Kim Brown Lawrence, are also charged. The 5 accused are alleged to have defrauded the government of more than $25 million. They face charges including conspiracy, misconduct in public office, breaches of the Corruption Prevention Act, and breaches of the Proceeds of Crime Act. The matter will resume on Tuesday morning at 10. Robian Williams for Nationwide News. Still in court, phone data analysis has revealed that multiple calls were placed between mobile numbers attributed to murder accused Constable Noel Maitland and a truck driver in the days following the disappearance of his 24-year-old girlfriend Donnelly Donaldson. The analysis was presented during the trial on Monday by a data forensic analyst from the JCF's Communication Forensic and Cybercrime Division, CFCD. Donaldson was last seen at Maitland's apartment in New Kingston on July 13, 2022. He's on trial for her murder. On Monday, the DSP testified that mobile data records retrieved from service providers Digicel and Flow covered the period July 1 to July 27, 2022. During the analysis, a mobile number which were attributed to Maitland and the mother of his child, Kathian Smith, were shown to be in communication with the mobile number attributed to a truck driver days after Donaldson went missing. The analyst testified that the mobile number attributed to Maitland and Smith kept in constant communication with the truck driver between July 16 and July 21, 2022. He explained that on July 21 that year, at least 10 calls were placed between the mobile numbers attributed to the truck driver and Maitland. According to the witness, several of those calls went unanswered by the truck driver. He testified that based upon the data, all the calls received by the truck driver were from the Upper Red Hills Road cell tower. The witness said the duration of the calls ranged from 2 seconds to 12 minutes. The trial continues on Tuesday morning at 10.
World in a Minute is brought to you by ABC Electrical Sales. We make things as easy as ABC. Hose assembly and supply, equipping Jamaica for success.
And Charles O'Connor Consulting Network, COCN, driven by international accounting standards, modern technology and integrity.
The world in a minute.
Our lives are on the line. Stop talking and start acting. That's the message that small island nations and impoverished countries delivered at Monday's United Nations Climate Conference, COP30 in Brazil. As high-level ministers from governments across the world took over negotiations at the conference, vulnerable nations lined up to stress how important it was for countries to cut emissions. They told the conference that the world's climate plans aren't strong enough to keep warming below the 1.5 degrees Celsius or 2.7 degrees Fahrenheit set by the 2015 Paris Agreement.
U.S. federal agents have arrested 130 people in 2 days in North Carolina, the latest city to face President Donald Trump's crackdown on immigration. Trisha McCloughlin, Assistant Director for the Department of Homeland Security, has reportedly told the international media that a number of the people arrested are criminals and gang members. But local leaders say the operation is doing more harm than good. DHS said a U.S. citizen allegedly injured an officer by ramming a law enforcement vehicle with their car. By population, it is roughly a quarter of the size of Los Angeles and a third of Chicago, the two most notable places targeted for immigration sweeps and deportations.
World in a Minute was brought to you by ABC Electrical Sales. We make things as easy as ABC. Hose Assembly and Supply, equipping Jamaica for success.
And Charles O'Connor Consulting Network, COCN, driven by international accounting standards, modern technology and integrity.
Recapping the top stories making nationwide news at this hour, nearly 2,000 tourism workers are facing unemployment as Bahia Principe closes indefinitely.
Mark Golding says $10 million not enough to meet housing needs in parishes hardest hit by Hurricane Melissa.
Started something with the MPs, but it's $10 million Jamaican, that's not going to do a whole lot.
The country's point-to-point inflation rate has risen slightly.
The IMF says the Jamaican government has expressed no need for hurricane support at this time.
I'm Ricardo Brooks.
And I'm Robeanne Williams.
You can find the news on our website at rivanews.ai and on the Riva News app, available on the Google Play and the App Store. News next, the headlines at 6.
After Hurricane Melissa, the road to recovery begins. If your family has been affected by the hurricane, the Ministry of Labor and Social Security is here for you.
Led by the ministry, teams are on the ground conducting household damage assessments and delivering assistance in communities where we are most needed. We are the People's Ministry, and we are leaving no one behind.
For further information, call our Client Care Center at 876-922-8013. Send us a WhatsApp message at 876-582-8972 or 876-849-8614 or email us at clientcare@mlss.gov.jm.
Need to make a change to your title or need a title? GeoLand Title Limited is the place to be. They do lost title application, add and remove names from titles, wills, estates, first-time registration, land surveys included, affordable rates and flexible payment options, National Land Agency adjudication and land titling waivers available. They have 8 locations island-wide. Call 876-754-6436 or visit their website at geolandonline.com. GeoLand Title Limited. Secure your land, secure your title.
Sports at 5 is brought to you by Total Tools. Total Tools, every tool, every trade.
Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Sports here on Nationwide 90 FM. I'm Wayne Walker. Jamaica's national men's senior football team, they wrapped up their final training session today at the National Stadium ahead of tomorrow's crunch. A World Cup qualifier against Curacao is set to kick off at 8 o'clock. The players, all of them came through the session and they're available ahead of selection for the 8 o'clock kickoff. Midfielder Casey Palmer, well, he joined the squad despite being overlooked while he recovers from his injury. He trained away from the squad. His English team, Hull City, recommended that he join the team to continue his rehab. And the head coach, Steve McLaren, says there's a strong belief in the squad that they can secure the victory tomorrow that's required to take them into automatic qualification for the FIFA World Cup.
It will always go down to the last game, and I said it at the beginning of the group stage, and so it is. And I think the best thing for us is that it's a win. It's a win. When you play for a draw or a win, you are a little bit in between, and I don't think we can be in between tomorrow. We have to be front foot aggressive and go for the win. That's our mentality, so that's what we'll go for.
Curaçao, they won the reverse game of this fixture by 2-0 in Villemestad on October 10. One of two games in which the Jamaicans dropped points during this World Cup qualifying campaign. But Coach McLaren is promising a different approach for this particular game.
Yeah, that was disappointing. We didn't start the game well, so we must start the game well tomorrow. That's a big lesson. And we had chances to win the game. When you look at the stats after the game, we had more chances on target, and we should have scored in that game. Had a goal disallowed for I don't know what, but so we knew we were in with a chance in that game. The start was poor, so we've got to start well tomorrow, and that's the message.
That's Steve McLaren, coach of the Jamaica national team. The Curaçao team arrived on the island on Saturday. They had a training session yesterday at Stadium East, and they're training again in another 30 minutes from now. They're training at the National Stadium. Again, kickoff for Tuesday's big showdown is at 8 o'clock. Jamaica must win. Anything else, and the Curaçao team will become the smallest nation in history to qualify for the FIFA World Cup. In the meantime, the Sports Minister, Olivia Grange, has expressed confidence that the team will be able to bag the victory that they need tomorrow night at the stadium to get into the World Cup. And speaking ahead of the game, Grange reflected on the historic moment 28 years ago, on November 16, and that anniversary was yesterday when the Jamaica team qualified by playing out a goalless draw with Mexico at the National Stadium. And Grange says the anniversary could serve as a powerful inspiration for the current squad.
I'm absolutely confident that our reggae boys can do it. They've got the talent, they're motivated, they have the heart of champions, and they want to make Jamaica proud. Come on, Jamaica, let's get behind your boys. Wear your gold. Let's turn out in our numbers at the office and cheer loud for Jamaica. The nation is wishing you the best of luck, reggae boys. You got this. And we will always give you our full support. Go for it. We know you can do it.
Asked the Sports Minister Olivia Grange. Some cricket news. The West Indies batsman Shafane Rutherford says the Caribbean side must find the right formula and sharply reduce their dot ball percentage if they are to bounce back against New Zealand in the second one-day international on Tuesday in Napier. The West Indies trailed 1-0 in the series, and they suffered a 7-run defeat on Sunday in the opener. Chasing 270 for victory, the Windies reached 262 for 6. Rutherford himself top scored with 55. And reflecting on the narrow defeat, the 27-year-old left-handed Guyanese says the team has identified key areas that they need to improve on.
As a team, because we doesn't have so much of time, I think we need to find a way of just scoring. I think cricket is about finding a way. It doesn't have a perfect way, but I think once we can find that formula of just getting more singles in between, and even if we can pick more boundaries in the middle phase, I think it would definitely benefit us.
That's Shafane Rutherford, and the final game will take place on Friday. And finally, in sports at this time, Cricket West Indies, they've officially announced the squads for the 6 regional teams set to take part in the 2025 CG United Super 50 Cup, which bowls off on Wednesday. This year's tournament will be played across the 3 main cricket venues in Trinidad and Tobago, the Brian Lara Cricket Academy, there's a Sir Frank Worrell Ground, of course, the Queen's Park Oval. The final is scheduled for November 29 under lights at the Brian Lara Stadium. Cricket West Indies, they've also announced that all Tobago games will be, admission to the games will be free, and it offers fans across Trinidad and Tobago to go out and watch the region's best cricketers in the short version in action. The Brian Lara Stadium, when games are played there, they're going to bowl off at 1 o'clock Jamaica time, but if they're in the Queen's Park Oval and also at the Sir Frank World Ground, they're going to bowl off at 8 o'clock in the morning Jamaica time, and the Relief 6 squad signal a blend of youth and experience. And of course, the Jamaica Scorpions team, they flew out of the island yesterday. They are now in Port of Spain getting ready for their opening game, and that will come on Wednesday against the Guyana Harpy Eagles. My sports are going to be back with more at 6:05.
Sports at 5 was brought to you by Total Tools. Total Tools, every tool, every trade. From Kingston to the world, from Montego Bay to new adventures, and from Ocho Rios to endless possibilities. Wherever you're headed, we will proudly take you there. Jamaica's Airport, your global gateway. The temperature brought to you by the Airports Authority of Jamaica is
26 degrees Celsius here in the nation's capital, Kingston. It's 29 in the western city, Montego Bay.
SCL Jamaica Limited is having a big blowout sale. Up to 70% off on Milwaukee tools. From power drills to saws, their top-notch Milwaukee tools will handle any project with ease. Hurry to SCL Jamaica Limited at Block L, Sagicor Industrial Center, 7 Norman Road, or call 876-938-1397 for more details. Sale runs November 10 to 28. Terms and conditions apply. Milwaukee, nothing but heavy duty. Since 1995, we've been your go-to source for everything related to billiards, amusement machines, and electronics. With locations at 1A Lindsay Terrace, Kingston 10, and the Village Plaza, Big Bridge, Savannah Lamar, we offer top-quality pool table parts and accessories, cutting-edge gaming machines, and more. We also specialize in assembly, sales, and service of amusement machines. We provide unmatched customer service, expert solutions, and products tailored to your needs. Who are we? We are Eclipse Enterprise. Telephone 876-960-3891.
This is a public service announcement from JPS. JPS is urging customers not to pay anyone to have their electricity service reconnected. Customers are reminded that unauthorized reconnections can be extremely dangerous and can result in serious injury, electrocution, or damage to property. This practice is unethical, illegal, and could delay restoration efforts. If anyone claiming to represent JPS requests payment for reconnection services, report it immediately to the nearest police station or JPS. JPS thanks all customers for their patience as teams continue working to restore power safely and as quickly as possible. That was a public service announcement from JPS.
This Friday, November 21 from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., the nationwide team makes its first stop in Westmoreland on our Rebuilding Jamaica Post-Melissa Relief OB series. And we're broadcasting live from 2 locations, Maud McLeod High School in Darlaston and Marzuka Garage in Savannah Lamar. So we're calling all residents of Darlaston and surrounding communities, Cottage, Venture Hall, Betheltown, Caledonia, Leamington, and everyone in Savannah Lamar. Come out and join us. We'll be bringing care packages, mattresses, and more, while our partners, the National Health Fund, will offer free screenings. Come share your stories, talk with our hosts, and let Jamaica hear how you and your families are rebuilding after Hurricane Melissa. Nationwide 90 FM, helping to rebuild Jamaica one community at a time. This outreach is made possible by NHF, Kemlani Mart, Marzuka Garage, NSWMA, and the Ministry of Labor and Social Security.
Public opinion. Stop this foolish about this GLP and PMP business. We are a Jamaican. Different people.
It's not a matter of a GLP or a PMP. I think it's more like where it is that you think you're comfortable, what support you can afford to make the country better.
Different views.
Most entertainers, they're not amenable to management, so the only thing that can ultimately structure them is the court and the prison.
Public opinion.
the voice of the people, at 6:25 p.m. weekdays during Nationwide at 5. Tune into Nationwide at 6:25 p.m. for Public Opinion, where the people's views matter.
Public Opinion is brought to you by Cleasing Industrial Supplies Limited, Industrial Automation and Control Solutions.
Hi, I'm Lori Gale from Oasis, advising of a change in our program focus, November 5 to 18. We do a shift from reading the Word to living out the Word. Host Roland Gale will speak with heads of churches regarding their intervention in getting our lives back on track following Hurricane Melissa. Be sure to join Roland and his guests on Oasis beginning Wednesday, November 5, 12:55 p.m., with a repeat at 5:45 a.m. Only on Nationwide, the new revolution in media. Let's all be praying for our nation.
If it's in the public's interest, it's the nation's business during Nationwide at 5. The nation's business.
Tune in to Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. Stay ahead of the curve with our cutting-edge reporting and accurate breaking news coverage.
We're having an earthquake. Oh, God.
Hear it here first on Nationwide 90 FM. Tune in, turn up the volume, and listen. We bring a mix of news, entertainment, and sports to your lives.
Nationwide 90 FM's live and continuous coverage of the World Championships in Budapest, Hungary.
News and discussions week mornings.
Coming up in the news at 6 for this morning.
Entertainment in the afternoons, then news again in the evenings.
Nationwide news at this hour, fired.
Also tune into the entertainment and sports shows in the nights and on the weekends.
It is Boy Things After Dark right here on Nationwide 90 FM.
Cover Story is brought to you by
Multilink. Roll with control. Use Multilink. Safe, fast, and accepted in more locations.
Multilink. Access every time, everywhere I go. Multilink. 24/7 access for me. It's just a win-win when we use Multilink. This card is Jamaican built, yeah. Fast and secure, you can use anywhere. Spend while supporting the economy.
Look for the Multilink logo on your card and benefit from Jamaica's largest debit payment network.
Multilink. 24/7 access for me.
What would I do without my Multilink?
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us here Nationwide at 5. I'm Cliff Hughes.
Good afternoon, listeners. How do you do? My name is Ricardo Brooks.
How are you, Ricardo?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Well, in our cover story this afternoon, one of the fallouts from Hurricane Melissa. News came through this evening, bad news from the world of work. Nearly 2,000 workers at the Bahia Principe resorts in Runaway Bay, St. Anne, are staring the unemployment line following redundancy notices issued by the hotel's management this afternoon. The redundancies are sending jitters across northern western parishes as resorts are a key mode of employment for thousands of Jamaicans.
Now, that matter has caught the attention of the Bustamante Industrial Trade Union, the BITU, and it's calling for the urgent intervention of the Labour Ministry. Here's Khaleesi Wright's report.
The management of Bahia Principe Grand Jamaica and Bahia Principe Luxury says the decision was taken to cease operations at the resorts in light of ongoing renovations. It's understood the resort suffered extensive damage during the passage of the hurricane. The planned closure is indefinite. Bahia's management says this will trigger a redundancy exercise across both resorts. Nationwide sources say just about 1,800 tourism workers will be affected. Bahia noted that it has arrangements in place to assist employees who wish to seek alternative employment or counseling. It says it will be working closely with the Bustamante Industrial Trade Union, BITU, to ensure effective communication and transparency. But BITU boss Kavan Gale says the matter is now serious enough to require the attention of the Labour Ministry.
We thought we were still in discussions with them as to how we could mitigate against any job losses. On Friday, the hotel, through its attorneys, would have sent a letter to us indicating their new intention to close both properties indefinitely, and that information would have been cascaded to all employees. It is against that background that the BITU has formally written to the Ministry of Labour requesting its intervention in what now appears to be an impasse between the union representing the workers and the management of Bahia Principe.
The BITU says it has been in constant dialogue with the hotel's management after it was notified of a proposed one-year closure for refurbishing. The union says it has been advocating from day one against any move toward mass redundancy and pressed the company to explore all available options to avoid job losses. BITU says despite these conversations, the hotel's management still advised staff of the hotel's indefinite closure and signaled the beginning of the redundancy exercise. Mr. Gale says the Jamaican government must ensure that all relevant labor laws are enforced.
We have asked for a halt to any redundancy action until discussions are properly concluded, and we are further requesting the Ministry of Labour to provide guidance to the management of the hotel to ensure that it meets its obligations under the Labour Relations Code and any other applicable standards that are usually applied in Jamaica. In this instance, the employment and livelihood of thousands of workers and their families are now hanging in the balance. And so we expect the ministry's swift intervention to protect workers' rights and to ensure that proper procedures are respected.
The hotel's management has declined to speak on the record, but our sources say the brand remains committed to Jamaica and will not pull out of the country. Khalesia Wright for Nationwide News.
Thanks, Khalesia. We're up on the break now. After the break, we'll be joined by Senator Kavan Gale.
Protecting your personal data is a priority for the Jamaica Customs Agency. We urge you to use the agency's official platforms to conduct your business. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is
5:46.
MSME operators, the NWC MSME Amnesty is a lifeline. Grab it. Apply between September 1 and November 30, 2025. Visit nwcjamaica.com. Email us at customercare@nwc.com.jm. You can also visit any commercial office or dial 888-NWC. Get a 50% debt write-off on your small commercial account if you pay all other outstanding debts or sign a payment agreement to do so in 3 months. Apply today.
Spring into style with Unique Living. Upgrade your home with our extensive range of products. Get sleek shower panels, stylish vanities, LED and non-LED mirrors, plus kitchen sinks, closet solutions, ceiling fans, and more. Available in various finishes and sizes. Visit shop number 6, 30 Dunrobin Avenue, Kingston 10. Call 876-755-3661 or visit our website at www.uniquelivingja.com. Don't wait to spring into style with Unique Living.
Welcome back. We are going to be joined now by the president of the Bustamante Industrial Trade Union, Senator Kavan Gale, with the news coming from the Bahia Principe hotel this afternoon that they will be making redundant the positions of almost 2,000 workers following, of course, the devastation wrought on that section of the island and the tourism travel trade by Hurricane Melissa. Good afternoon, Senator Gale.
Good afternoon, Senator.
Good afternoon, and good afternoon to your listeners and those joining online.
Well, first of all, one would expect that there would be some amount of redundancies in the hotel travel trade because the numbers of visitors are declining, reducing. But the entire staff? Why?
Well, let me put it in context, because in October, I believe October 8th, we would have met with the management of the hotel, including its attorneys. They would have indicated to us that the Grand Bahia, there was an intention to close that part of the property with the objective to do full renovation. And they would have indicated to us that they would want to make all the workers at Grand redundant. They also indicated that the luxury part of the property would remain open and business would be conducted there. Now, incidentally, the Grand would have all the unionized employees. We, at that point, would have rejected any notion to go to a mass redundancy. And history, during the pandemic, we would have had challenges where we would have had agreements, framework understanding as to how we would have treated those challenges. By virtue of that, workers were laid off for the 120 days. We would have extended the layoff period beyond the 120 days. And when you had resumption, you had rotation of employment to secure the continuity of business and to ensure that employees, got some earnings. We would have advanced some submissions to protect the employees consistent with the Labor Relations Code for security of tenure. After that October 8th meeting, we would have had another meeting last week, Thursday, where the position would have shifted now post-Melissa, indicating that both properties would be closed. Both properties would be closed for 1 year, and all the workers now would be made redundant. Consequent to continuous appeals for a review and a rethinking of the position, the hotel's attorneys indicated that they would be meeting with their principals to review our submissions. It was surprising to us that on November 14th, one day after that meeting, we would have received a letter posturing a change in position, that the Hotel Grand and Luxury will be extensively repaired and reconstructed given the major damage of the hurricane. And at that point, they are saying to us that they cannot establish an accurate calendar for resumption. And as a result of that, they are saying that the position has changed and the hotel will now be closed indefinitely. Now, I think critical to all of this is, clear communication and transparency. We have not had an opportunity to even examine the extent of damage because the hotel would have closed, the workers would have been sent home, we would have made recommendations to, in the very least, have some members of the team operating with who are going to carry out the construction in particular areas for continuity of employment.
Two questions, Senator.
Yes.
In our reporting, Bahia says that they were willing to make arrangements or put arrangements in place to assist employees who wish to seek employment elsewhere. To your knowledge, has that been done? Any such effort?
No. We have that kind of conversation that is important. And this is with me now consistent with the labor code,
yes,
that you try as best and as practicable as possible to seek alternative employment. But then you question whether or not it would be feasible to have that kind of engagement given what now precipitates in terms of the industry itself.
In other words, we're going to find hotels to absorb nearly 2,000 people.
For nearly 2,000 people. And bearing in mind that some of the other properties would have taken the position that, look, if our employees still remain on our payroll, we're not making them redundant. We have not taken a decision yet as to what is happening.
And so,
one of the things that workers are saying, so they get position would be made redundant. Given the industry and the restoration of the country and the recovery plan that we want to get back to business as quickly as possible, you have this proposal for an indefinite closure, but then you fast track your reconstruction and reopen. What you do with the workers. And that's why we have said, in the first instance, let's go through this in terms of a possible layoff. We treat those mitigating strategies as how we can protect the workers. Because you want to retain the skills. But these are almost 2,000 people.
So you've asked the ministry, you said the Ministry of Labour's intervention is now serious, but somebody listening might say, but if the hotel is damaged and it's closed, how does BITU expect Bahia to pay them? What is it that you want the Ministry of Labour to do exactly?
So what we want to ensure is that in the first instance, will the hotel still have the appetite to, as best and as practicable as possible, retain the people in terms of their employment? You don't yet have to make the positions redundant.
So you want them to walk back those letters?
Yes. But no letters has been issued yet, It is only an intention to make positions redundant. We haven't even started to talk about what the redundancy will look like. Since the hurricane, I'll give you an example. The day of the hurricane, the people were paid. There are some people that have complained to us that the day after the hurricane, that they could not turn up for work because they are searching for their zinc. Their house have been blown down. They couldn't turn up for work. They have not been paid. Some people have said that they have not been paid since. No, the hotel has not said to us what's the situation regarding.
Senator Gale? No. We have with us Senator Cavan Gale. He's the president of the Bustamante Industrial Trade Union. The news, nearly 2,000 workers at Bahia Principe Resorts in Runaway Bay. They are facing redundancy. Senator saying the letter is not yet issued, but there's a proposal for redundancy that would send nearly 2,000 of them home. And the response, it seems, from the resorts, not satisfactory so far, saying that they would help them to get employment. But as the Senator said, where do you find the properties to absorb 2,000 people?
But listening to Senator Gale a while ago, a lot is not yet known or affirmed. Yes, they have not yet been made redundant. Yeah, that's one. Two, a lot of them are still to be in touch with the hotel in terms of their remuneration. Yeah, and it seems to me that what we have here is quite a bit of uncertainty, to put it mildly.
And that would make people uncomfortable in this environment, especially if you've had damage to your house, you're trying to figure out what are your next steps, and then you have this compounding the problem.
What is troubling though, 1 year of layoff
became indefinite.
Right.
And that must be sending jitters.
Year of closure.
Yeah.
1 year of closure.
Yes.
Today, 1 year of closure. When we made the appeal, tomorrow it becomes indefinite.
And you neither you nor your staff have an idea of how extensively damaged is the property?
No.
You don't?
No. We have not been able to even make that demonstrated assessment.
But wasn't this the same?
situation-
Wasn't this the same Bahia Principe, Senator Gale, who told us a couple of weeks ago that they were housing hundreds of their employees and families?
Yes, man. It was the same institution, the same organization. And we gave them commendation for that. I don't know where the divorcing took place.
Because that's why I'm wondering how extensively damaged would that be, or looking like, if they were housing hundreds of workers. I remember the figure being told was
and their
about
families.
and their families. Yeah, and I know it's a massive hotel.
It is.
The capacity is what, in excess of 1,000 rooms?
In excess of 1,000 rooms.
Wow. Something has gone wrong.
And we've been trying to reach the management. Their position is that they're not speaking on the record, but all they will say is that they're not pulling out of Jamaica. That's the position.
Well, not pulling out of Jamaica and with an intention to close indefinitely is cause for concern. But the public would be watching, The public would be watching to see what is the defined period of indefinite.
Indefinite
When you
means
reopen.
indefinite.
Yeah,
Far as-
indefinite means indefinite.
Yeah.
But sometimes you can cap that indefinite with a reopening.
What was the relationship like between the union workers and the management of the hotel?
We had an excellent relationship. We considered having a partnership. We established a framework arrangement where bi-monthly both the union and the management would be sitting down at the table and working through things. Not disputes nor grievances, but the framework arrangement in terms of fostering a good relationship as to how to ensure how productive the hotel could be. And we have worked with successive general managers, and I must commend the general manager now for the awesome responsibility and engagement that has been embarked on. But,
any word from the Ministry of Labour and or the Ministry of Tourism?
Not as yet. Not as yet. But always in a relationship, you may have persons who don't understand the relationship but treat the relationship differently. Like in a marriage, you have in-laws.
Yes. Do you represent other workers at other properties, Senator Gale?
Yeah, the BIT represents the workers at Rio Tropical Bay and Rio Negril.
Any word from those properties?
No,
Are they
not
affected?
as yet. But no, and incidentally, when they, some years ago, Rio had conducted refurbishing. They laid off the workers, and when they resumed, all the workers were re-employed.
Where are those two properties?
In Negril.
In Negril.
Right.
So they would have also been exposed to some
Yes,
of
they would have also been
Melissa's
exposed to
wrath.
the ravishes of Melissa.
And were
One
they...
needs to understand what may have been the common thread in this change of behavior. We are trying to ascertain what that has been. Why the turn of events of a property as an employer that has worked collaboratively with the BITU.
Yeah.
And finally, what are you hearing from the workers? What are they saying to you? What are they expressing?
The workers are very disappointed. They are very depressed about it. There's a level of uncertainty in relation to their future. And that is why we have hastily requested the Ministry of Labour to intervene so that we can properly go through. Somebody needs to tell us what is the real sense behind this, because we are yet to identify this change.
And for what it is worth in terms of a context, there's word from Sandals that they're not laying off any workers.
And I applaud Adam Stewart and his team for extending that. And that should have been used as some kind of recipe for the industry.
Yeah.
And we are saying we can sit with you as an
Well,
employer
one has to be
work
careful. One has to
without-
be careful because you don't know the internal figures, economics, health, status of the Sandals Group versus that of Bahia Principe.
Bahia is Spanish owned, Senator?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It is. But bear in mind that sometime earlier in the year, the Bahia Principe would have extended itself with an alliance with the Hyatt Group.
Yeah. Well, we have to leave it there, Senator. Senator Cavan Gale is the president of the BITU. The BITU represents the workers of Bahia Principe who are this evening facing the threat of redundancies.
And here's the thing.
Thank you, sir.
It might have
Thank
been
you for having us.
might have been
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
A much more difficult PR exercise for Sandals, Jamaican owned, at a time when the country is facing this crisis, to say you have to go home.
Mm-hmm.
Might not be so difficult for the Spanish.
No.
4 minutes after 6, time for the headlines.
Cover Story was brought to you by
Multilink. Roll with control. Use Multilink. Save fast and accepted in more locations.
The time brought to you by Guardian Life. Live secure, live easy is
5 minutes after 6.
Nationwide headlines at 6.
Good evening. With the headlines at 6, I'm Nora Gay Banton. Nearly 2,000 workers at the Bahia Principe resorts in Runaway Bay, St. Anne, are this afternoon facing unemployment following redundancy letters issued by the hotel's management in the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa. The redundancies are sending jitters across western parishes as resort properties are a key mode of employment for thousands of Jamaicans. The matter has caught the attention of the Bustamante Industrial Trade Union BITU, which is calling for the urgent intervention of the Labour Ministry. The management of Bahia Principe Grand Jamaica and Bahia Principe Luxury says the decision was taken to cease operations at the resorts in light of ongoing renovations. It's understood the resorts suffered extensive damage during the passage of the hurricane. The planned closure is indefinite. Bahia's management says this will trigger a redundancy exercise across both resorts. Nationwide sources say just about 1,800 tourism workers will be affected. Bahia noted that it has arrangements in place to assist employees who wish to seek alternative employment or counseling. Opposition leader Mark Golding says the $10 million provided to members of parliament in parishes worst affected by Hurricane Melissa is not enough to respond to the housing needs, but he's appealing for patience.
I'm hoping that the government will commence a program. They've started something with the MPs, but it's $10 million Jamaican, that's not going to do a whole lot. So the needs are so enormous in this part of Jamaica that it really needs a national program to be rolled out. And I'm sure, that will happen, but it's just how quickly. So people are going to have to be patient, because it's not going to be overnight. But, we're just here to show solidarity with the people and, show them that one Jamaica, one united country, we're all working to try and make the situation better.
Mr. Golding was speaking during a tour of the parishes of St. James and Westmoreland on Monday. Prime Minister Andrew Holness announced that $10 million will be allocated to each member of parliament in the hardest hit areas as part of a building support initiative. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, says the Jamaican government has expressed no interest at this time in support from the fund in the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa. But the fund's Director of Communications, Julie Kozak, says the fund stands ready to assist if that position changes.
We're in close dialogue with the authorities, as I said. They have not expressed interest in fund financial support, but of course we stand ready to assist them in any way that they see fit, whether it be policy advice, any technical assistance, liaising with international partners, looking at the macro framework, or of course, should they request it, fund financial support.
Ms. Kozak was speaking at the IMF's regular media briefing recently. The last arrangements with the fund, the Precautionary and Liquidity Line, PLL, and Resilience and Sustainability Facility, RSF, officially concluded in August 2024. Previously described as a basket case by the fund's directors, Jamaica is now considered the poster child for what is possible through an IMF-led reform program. Those were the headlines at 6. I'm Nora Gay Banton. Sports is next.
More choices. Get active with Active Home Center. The one-stop shop for everything for your home. We have more savings, more choices, unbelievable prices. Wide selection with the latest style. The kitchen, bathroom, right down to the tile. Buy the hottest items on spot, don't miss out. Best options under one roof, no doubt. More savings, more choices.
Visit us in store or online at www.activehomecenter.com.
We have more savings, more choices.
Don't fall victim to deepfakes.
Watch out.
Protect yourself.
What is the
For
on
more
my TV?
information, visit broadcastingcommission.org or
Here ya,
scan
baby.
the QR code on screen.
Deepfake. No deepfake can't catch me.
Junior, you know say AI can make something will look and sound just like you? One day Junior get a voice note from her granny. Say the food done, the medication done, and she need money urgently.
Need money urgently? But Miss Pat no like ask people for things.
And as so comes, Judy get suspicious.
So what she do?
She asks the neighbor to go check pan her. Junior, the lady quite alright over there make her Sunday dinner.
So the voice note a deepfake?
Yes, my love. Come, your food ready.
Right now it look like we have to outsmart the AI. But wait, I really want dege dumpling here, give me.
Me I wonder if AI can make one deep fake dumpling for you.
To learn more about deepfakes, visit www.broadcastingcommission.org.
Good evening with your sports report. I am Alex Ribby. We kick things off with some footballers. Jamaica's national senior men's football team today closed off their final training session at the National Stadium ahead of Tuesday's crucial World Cup qualifier against Curacao, which the team must win to gain an automatic spot at the game's showpiece next year. All the players came through the session and are available for selection ahead of the 8 p.m. kickoff. Midfielder Casey Palmer joined the squad despite being overlooked while he recovers from an injury. However, he trained away from the rest of the squad as his English team, Hull City, made provision for him to continue his rehab with the national team. Head coach Steve McLaren says there's a strong belief in the squad that they can secure the victory that will take the team to the World Cup.
We will always go down to the last game, and I said it at the beginning of the group stage, and so it is. And I think the best thing for us is that it's a win. It's a win. When you play for a draw or a win, you are a little bit in between. And I don't think we can be in between tomorrow. We have to be front foot aggressive and go for the win. That's our mentality, so that's what we'll go for.
Curacao won the reverse game of this fixture 2-0 in Willemstad on October 10, one of two games where the Jamaican dropped points, but McLaren is promising a different approach.
Yeah, that was disappointing. We didn't start the game well, so we must start the game well tomorrow. That's a big lesson. And we had chances to win the game. When you look at the stats after the game, we had more chances on target, and we should have scored in that game. Had a goal disallowed for I don't know what, but so we knew we were in with a chance in that game. The start was poor, so we've got to start well tomorrow, and that's the message.
Steve McLaren. Meanwhile, Sports Minister Oliver Grains has expressed strong confidence in the Reggae Boys as they prepare to face Curacao in a crucial World Cup qualifying match at the National Stadium. Speaking ahead of the matchup, Grains reflected on the historic moment 28 years ago when, on November 16, 1997, Jamaica's men's national football team secured its first ever FIFA World Cup qualification. She said the anniversary served as powerful inspiration for the current squad.
I'm absolutely confident that our Reggae Boys can do it. They've got the talent, they're motivated, they have the heart of champions, and they want to make Jamaica proud. Come on, Jamaica, let's get behind our boys. Wear your gold. Let's turn out in our numbers at the office and cheer loud for Jamaica. The nation is wishing you the best of luck, Reggae Boys. You got this. And we will always give you our full support. Go for it. We know you can do it.
Minister of Sports Oliver Grains. Now to swimming, as Y Speedo Swim Club swept the team title and produced a flurry of national records as the 3-day Dean Martin Memorial Swim Meet, which concluded on Sunday at the National Stadium Pool. Y Speedo amassed 1,167 points, comfortably ahead of defending champions Tornadoes, who finished with 967. Among the standout performers were Y Speedo's trio, Liam Williams, Jordana Thomas, and Daniela Powell, along with Arush Rashlani of Swimmers Aquatics, each rewriting the national record books. Williams stole the spotlight in the under-8 boys 50 meters breaststroke, clocking 42.60 seconds to erase the 39-year-old national record of 47.74. Brimming with confidence, he said he now has his sights set on lowering even more records.
Made me feel good because I made the good, so after I felt that I had to train harder. I was happy because I get to touch the pool again. I'm ready because I know that I'm going to break more national records.
In the 9-10 girls 50 meters breaststroke, Thomas powered to victory in 37.12 seconds, also a national mark. She credited her strong showing to the mental toughness gained through the Goodwill Games in August.
It feels really good because I really haven't been training since the hurricane, and to break a national record and a meet record is really excellent because I haven't been training, and it's good that I broke a record. Goodwill, it would have prepared me for this meet because at Goodwill it was really hard, the competition was really intense, and that would have gave me an eye-opener for this meet back in Jamaica.
Powell added to Y Speedo's haul with a national record of her own, winning the 9-10 girls 50 meters backstroke in 33.59 seconds. She admitted she surprised herself by surpassing the previous national best.
Well, I did want to get records for my first meet of the year because I like breaking records. So I never knew I would get a national record because I thought I would just get the meet on, but I feel really good. It tells me that I'm getting stronger and I'm also getting better by each meet. It's encouraged me a lot because I know with my time I can break a lot more records if I keep improving and training.
Swimmers Aquatics, Rashlani made his statement in the 13-14 boys 800 meters freestyle, touching in 9 minutes 11.21, another national record. He said he performed above his own expectations in the event.
Well, I have been training hard over the past few months over the summer and also after summer. So I think I would have thought that I would have done well, but I wasn't really fully expecting a national record, even though I knew that I'm capable of it. But it was just very exciting for me. It really just tells me that I'm fit, that I'm ready for whatever comes in my way, and that I'm just prepared.
Arush Rashlani. Now to cricket, as West Indies batsman Sir Fane Rutherford says the Caribbean side must find the right formula and sharply reduce their dot ball count if they are to bounce back against New Zealand in Tuesday's second one-day international at McLaren Park. The West Indies trail 1-0 in the 3-match series after falling 7 runs short in Sunday's opener. Chasing 270 for victory, the Windies reached 262 for 6, with Rutherford top scoring with 55. Reflecting on the narrow defeat, the 27-year-old left-hander says the team has identified key areas that need improvement.
As a team, because we doesn't have so much of time, I think we need to find a way of just scoring. I think cricket is about finding a way. It doesn't have a perfect way, but I think once we can find that formula of just getting more singles in between, and even if we can pick more boundaries in the middle phase, I think it would definitely benefit us.
Shafin Rutherford, the third and final ODI is set for Friday. Coach of the Indian Test cricket team, Gautam Gambhir, has expressed strong disappointment with the performance of his batters as the team crashed to its first Test defeat at home to South Africa in 15 years. The low-scoring thriller ended in 3 days as India set 124 to win, were bowled out for 93. Gambhir says there's no excuse for the batting horror show as the curators prepared just the wicket they asked for.
I thought the curator was very supportive, and I still believe that irrespective of how the wicket was, 123 was chaseable. And I felt that if you are willing to put your head down, and if you have a solid defense, if you have the temperament, you can definitely score runs. Yes, it might not be a wicket which is going to be very, very flamboyant where you can play those big shots, but if you're willing to put your head down, definitely it's a wicket where you can score. It's exactly the pitch we were looking for. This is exactly the pitch. And I feel that, as I just mentioned before, that was very, very helpful. And
Gautam Gambhir. Now to horse racing, as Solomon Sharp, owner of the thoroughbred Ride All Day, revealed that the exciting colt will be sold in short order. Sharp made the revelation after Ride All Day stormed to victory in the Port Royal Sprint on Sunday to fine-tune preparation for the Moutier Mile set for December 6 at Caymanas Park.
This is my last run as owner. Some ladies will have to pay extra now because they have been dilly-dallying with their checks and they wanted to buy a horse for the Moutier Mile, and I told them buy it before the Moutier Mile, come and lead the team for the Jamaica Cup, and they didn't show up. But the phone is ringing now, so new owner come Moutier Mile.
The impressive Ride All Day has so far won 7 of his 9 races. In addition, jockey Ian Spence has ridden the horse to 5 consecutive wins. According to Sharp, trainer Philip Fiani insisted that Spence return to ride the colt in the Port Royal Sprint.
This win is credited to trainer Philip Fiani and Ian Dallybaby Spence and Talman Biggs. They work tirelessly around the clock. They have done the work on him all year. And they said, look, you got to work one morning from one of the other jocks, and Fiani said, no. I sent him back from my old-time spar, Dallybaby, and Biggs said, yes, are the right thing. And let's just struck up a partnership all year.
Solomon Sharp. And finally, in basketball, Jamaica's quest for a place at the 2026 Women's Central Basket Tournament ended in disappointment on Sunday as the national team fell 83-72 to host Guyana on the final day of the FIBA Caribbean Women's Championship at Cliff Anderson Hall. The defeat capped a challenging campaign for the Jamaicans, who managed just 1 win in their 4 outings and ultimately finished 4th in the standings. Only the top 3 teams secured qualification to Central Basket Tournament. Head coach O'Neil Brown said the team's inexperience was a decisive factor in their failure to advance.
The 3 top teams were more little bit experienced than us. They were really little bit experienced. All those ladies, I would have watched them get better over time from 2014 till now. A lot of those ladies, would have started playing for year 17. Right where we are now with these ladies. So, time of the essence to just have to get better as a nation.
Despite the setback, Brown expressed optimism about the future, noting that the tournament provided valuable lessons for his developing group.
Game by game, we have gotten better, we have improved. We were the only country to let the 2 best teams had bad turnover ratio against us. We did slow them down, so those are some signs, that defensively we're doing some job. But, scoring the ball, into this tournament was a big issue.
O'Neil Brown. I'm Alric Swiby, and that's your sports.
For all your scales and food processing equipment, call Advanced Scales and Equipment Limited at 876-968-9612-5. The time by Advanced Scales and Equipment Limited is
6:22.
Charles O'Connor Consulting Network, COCN, is a financial reporting firm that delivers accounting and compliance services on time. Call us today at 876-908-0486-7. Email us at clientservices@cocnjamaica.com or visit our website at www.cocnjamaica.com. COCN, driven by international accounting standards, modern technology and integrity.
Enough power tool, big to small. Chakama figure dig the wall.
Upper Total Tools.
Weed whacker figure trim the lawn. We have everything a job demand.
Total Tools.
We rent them, sell them and fix them. Also give Total Tools a call. When I say home improvement, landscape construction, a Total Tools are your option. Home improvement, landscape construction, Total Tools are your option.
Total Tools, located at 102 Main Street, Ocho Rios, 34 Slipe Road, Kingston.
And lot C6 Draxall, Sentence Bay. Call us today.
This Friday, November 21 from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., the nationwide team makes its first stop in Westmoreland on our Rebuilding Jamaica Post-Melissa Relief OB series. And we're broadcasting live from 2 locations, Maud McLeod High School in Darlaston and Marzuka Garage in Savannah Lamar. So we're calling all residents of Darlaston and surrounding communities, Cottage, Venture Hall, Betheltown, Caledonia, Leamington, and everyone in Savannah Lamar. Come out and join us. We'll be bringing care packages and more, while our partners, the National Health Fund, will offer free screenings. Come share your stories, talk with our hosts, and let Jamaica hear how you and your families are rebuilding after Hurricane Melissa. Nationwide 90 FM, helping to rebuild Jamaica one community at a time. This outreach is made possible by NHF, Marzuka Garage, NSWMA, and the Ministry of Labor and Social Security.
Public Opinion is brought to you by Cleasing Industrial Supplies Limited, Industrial Automation and Control Solutions.
Good evening, welcome to Public Opinion. I'm Mahiri Stewart. Special good evening to our friends on YouTube. We invite you to also weigh in live in the comment section on today's Public Opinion. So, in the wake of Hurricane Melissa, communities across Jamaica have been stepping up, offering help, sharing resources, and showing the true strength of our people. Whether it's donating supplies, volunteering time, helping a neighbor, or simply checking in on someone who needed support, Jamaicans are lending a hand in this time of recovery. So to figure out which of these Jamaicans you are, in Public Opinion this evening, we're asking, what have you done in the Hurricane Melissa relief effort? So we're gonna check our wonderful pages to see what folks are saying. Let me fire up the YouTube right now, and then we're gonna check Instagram, which is the one I like to check first. So gonna let the YouTubers take their time, tell us how they've been helping out. But before that, let's go over to Instagram and see what folks over there are saying. So when we go to Instagram and we ask the question, what have you done so far to help the Hurricane Melissa relief effort? We have a couple contributions. Robert Gregory Wars says, I am making my contribution. Who are you, brother? Says, I donated and volunteered at a relief drive here in Atlanta. Respect to the Rum Punch Brunch team. There we go. And I'm already seeing some answers come in the YouTube chat. SMD1293 says, I went to St. Elizabeth and gave away food. That's good to hear. MDL9096 says, good evening, Mahiri Stewart. Evening to you, man. What else we have here? Donated money, says Chad FLPO635. There we go. Richard Jones 5566 says, we as a people need to diversify other forms of oh, this is a different conversation. Never mind, yeah? Never mind, but let's see what else we can find on the other platforms. Let's go over to Facebook. We go over to Facebook and we ask them, what have you done so far to help in the Hurricane Melissa relief efforts? We've already told you what Nationwide is doing. We're going to be doing our relief effort OBs, and they're going to start this week, this Friday, as a matter of fact, in Westmoreland. So that's going to be stop 1 of the tour. We're going to check all the western parishes that have been affected and see what we can do for them, see what we can hear from them in terms of people that are on the ground that have experienced it. I see some more people in the comment section. I did my little much, says Orinthia Campbell 7646. Richard Jones 5566 says, oh wait, no, this This is a different conversation he's having. Who am I? Says, I was in Jamaica over the weekend volunteering, and I noticed not many Jamaicans from non-impacted areas were present, helping out. Just pure local folks. What's this? Marjorie Gordon says, I was going, but no, the people want oxtail. They're ungrateful. Oh, dear. Arlene Joseph said, I went to St. Elizabeth and I visited 2 sets of persons. We have here. I did my little much. Yeah, we have that one already. Leroy Rutt is asking me what the question is. The question, Leroy, is what have you done so far to help Jamaica's relief efforts in Hurricane Melissa? Ishan Khan says, I'm helping through contributions that will be shipped. I'm also going to send $300 to a good friend of mine. Hopefully that's US. The windows and roof are gone off of her house. Carl Watson says, I make a family stay at my house through the hurricane and now sending barrels. That's nice to hear. All right, what do we have here? I donated to the government and Jamaica website and GoFundMe. That's MDL. That's what she's been doing. She made sure to specify. There we go. That's where she's been saying. Custis Brown says, can't NNN get a generator to put at their site where they have their towers? We're suffering in St. Bess because of no electricity at the site in Manchester. It's a good thing you brought that up, Custis Brown. Maybe now that we've made it public, we can get down there and see what's going on. So thanks for bringing that up. Marcia Edwards says, what's this? I give donations through my church and I continue to pray for all the affected areas. There we go. Let's check what we have over on Facebook. Mervyn Campbell says that question should be pointing to governance. They are collecting all the donors who are donating, and even up to this time, haven't yet see something who are living in a worse stage right now. Nicola Nicholson says, shipped barrels with groceries donated to support Jamaica. Derek Muir says, contribute funds, prayers. Anthony Sheikh says he's made contributions through my church. What else do we have here? Natalie Winter says, hope and pray for the best for my fellow citizens. And Rosalind Buck says, my business. I donated items of clothes, says Geneva. Leroy Rutty says, I'm doing my little much and I'm not yet finished. Working. Donna Llewellyn says, I made calls, shared my hotspot at my church, collecting stuff now to go help a community in St. Bess on Sunday to cook and fellowship. Good to hear, man. Good to hear. What else do we have here? Please give a generator, says Marjorie Blair. I donated items of clothing. Yeah, so we have that one already. And yeah, I give donations through my church. So we have some good Samaritans here in the YouTube chat. How much time I got? 6:30. Let's keep going. Let's see what else we can read. So I'm seeing a bunch of different ways in which people are helping. I guess some folks aren't here in Jamaica, but are still trying to find their own way of helping. Yeah, I've seen a couple people in the YouTube chat saying that they've donated, whether it be to the Support Jamaica link or whatever charity they're helping out, that are going to, come on the ground and help people bringing aid, whether it be water, food, clothes, building material, any of that stuff. So we have people, members of the diaspora, that's what I should be calling them, yeah? Members of the diaspora who are donating money to help the relief efforts. And we have a couple people on the ground right now that are also helping. Yeah, so you see a couple people saying they've donated to their church groups, their church, one person here that says their church is going to St. Bess real soon to be helping out. As I told you earlier, nationwide, you've probably been hearing it all over the airwaves if you've been listening all day. But yeah, we too will be launching our relief efforts as soon as the end of the week. We're going to Westmoreland. That's going to be stop 1 in our tour of the western parishes. All the worst affected areas in Jamaica. We're going to be there giving our aid and giving people a voice. Yeah, giving people hope. It's good to see. But yeah, we even have folks like Paul Pierre too, says again, he's doing his little much, man. I think it might be a bit too much to, what's this? People in Points a Little from Middle Quarters need help. Let me look that up. Points a Little. I've never heard of that place before. Points a Little. What is that? Middle Quarters. What comes up when I see that? Senti. Points a Little, Middle Quarters. Point District is a small area in Middle Quarters, St. Elizabeth. Maybe I don't know if you spelled that one right, but was this why Westmoreland first, Cliff? I mean, I'm not sure, but yeah, all the parishes will get somewhere, Marjorie. So don't worry. I send sheet sets, soaps, deodorants, and packing barrels. Says, how do I pronounce this? Inezi or Ineasy. Campbell 669, there we go. Donated care packages to the Baptist Church for relief in Bethel Town and family and friends in St. Bess. That's Bev Thompson 6260. There we go, folks. Good to see. Very, very good to see, yeah? I know for a fact if you go on Instagram right now, everybody you know is playing their part. Everybody you know is helping a relief drive in one way or another, making their way to the west. I think it's safe to say we're not having the same traffic issues we were having when the hurricane just hit. As more time passes and more roads become more accessible, it seems as though the traffic isn't as bad a problem as it was when the hurricane, we were just in the aftermath, and now it's making it easier for aid to get into these necessary places. But yeah, we still have a lot of communities over there in the west that still need help. Yeah. And even some communities in the center. I mean, as you heard in the news today, I went to Content last Friday, and the man told me, listen, man, yeah, we know about the west, but people down here in Manchester are also feeling it pretty bad as well. So you never know. It may not have been a direct hit, but there we go. All right, folks, I think that's a decent place to end it today. A nice little pub up, a nice little way to get back into the swing of things here after leave. But thank you all for participating. As always, I'm Mahiri Stewart. That's Public Opinion, and now it's time for the Business Report.
Public Opinion was brought to you by Cleasing Industrial Supplies Limited, Industrial Automation and Control Solutions.
Drive the most exciting new vehicles in Jamaica. Schedule your 2024 Ford Ranger pickup or Ford Everest 7-seater SUV test drive now. Call or visit KIG today.
The time by KIG is...
It's 6:34. Hello, good evening, and welcome to Nationwide's Business Report. I'm Mahiri Stewart. The country's point-to-point inflation rate rose slightly in October. It now stands at 2.9%, and that's up from the 2.1% from the previous month. This is all according to the Statistical Institute of Jamaica in a release on Monday. But Statin says price collection for the month was conducted from October 6 to 11 and in the third week from October 20 to 25, and this was before the passage of Hurricane Melissa. The rate was influenced mainly by the point-to-point inflation for the division's food and non-alcoholic beverages, housing, water, electricity, gas and other fuels, and restaurant and accommodation services. The point-to-point inflation rate remains below the Bank of Jamaica's target range of 4 to 6% for the fifth month in a row. And over in the U.S. Transportation Department has lifted its emergency order to cut flights across the country, saying enough air traffic controllers are now coming to work to alleviate safety concerns. During the government shutdown that started in October, there was a rise in absences of air traffic controllers who, as essential employees, were required to work without pay, which led airports to delay or ground flights. The Federal Aviation Administration then ordered airlines from November 7 to cut scheduled takeoffs in order to prevent safety issues. Since the shutdown ended last week, staffing levels have continued to snap back, the department said, just in time for busy Thanksgiving travel. And finally, in the currency markets, at the close of trading today, it cost 161 Jamaican dollars and 68 cents to buy $1. It costs 212 Jamaican dollars and 35 cents to buy £1 British pound, and 115 Jamaican dollars and 67 cents to buy the Canadian dollar. That's the Business Report. I'm Mahiri Stewart. Good evening.
We are the best at what we do. At Hose Assembly and Supply Limited, we supply hose fittings and tools. We guarantee we can't be beaten when price and quality are combined. You brand us the Hose and Tool Boss because we deliver the most effective industrial solutions. Come in and experience the joy of shopping with Hose Assembly and Supply Limited. Call us 876-923-3936 or visit 173 Hagley Park Road, 2 Charlesworth Crescent or Montego Bay Trade Center. Hose Assembly and Supply Limited. More than just hoses. Now open every Sunday.
Every
every school is free of unhealthy, ultra-processed products. You know, those high in salt, fats, and sugar. If only that weren't a dream. The reality is that many children have an unhealthy diet at school, and 23% of them are overweight or obese. This can lead to hypertension, heart disease, and type 2 diabetes. Let's protect our children's right to health with a policy for schools that prevents unhealthy food marketing and ensures access to nutritious foods. The time is now. Let's implement the National School Nutrition Policy. A message from the Heart Foundation of Jamaica and partners.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies including plugs, switches, panel boards and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
This Friday, November 21 from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., the Nationwide team makes its first stop in Westmoreland on our Rebuilding Jamaica Post-Melissa Relief OB series. And we're broadcasting live from 2 locations, Maud McLeod High School in Darlaston and Marzuka Garage in Savannah Lamar. So we're calling all residents of Darlaston and surrounding communities, Cottage, Venture Hall, Betheltown, Caledonia, Leamington, and everyone in Savannah Lamar. Come out and join us. We'll be bringing care packages and more, while our partners, the National Health Fund, will offer free screenings. Come share your stories, talk with our hosts, and let Jamaica hear how you and your families are rebuilding after Hurricane Melissa. Nationwide 90 FM, helping to rebuild Jamaica one community at a time. This outreach is made possible by NHF, Marzuka Garage, NSWMA, and the Ministry of Labor and Social Security.
Ever wondered how to spot a scam before it drains your account? Or how Jamaica's top financial crime fighters track down the money? Join the Financial Investigations Division on Nationwide this morning, every first and third Friday at 8:20 a.m. for FID in Action, an informative, engaging feature designed to keep you and your money safe. Learn practical tips to help you spot, prevent, and report financial crimes. Understand how the FID protects the financial system. That's FID in Action, protecting you, preventing financial crime. On Nationwide this morning, every first and third Friday at 8:20 a.m. Brought to you by the Financial Investigations Division.
Are you ready to turn your sales and marketing skills into high earnings? Nationwide 90 FM is searching for business development executives to help us grow our business and build lasting client relationships. If you have experience across all stages of the sales cycle and possess strong communication, negotiation, and time management skills with a proven sales track record, this opportunity is perfect for you. Join our team and work with the top corporate brands, media agencies, and of course, our on-air personalities. Enjoy networking opportunities, professional growth, and competitive commissions. Ready to take the next step? Send your resume to hr@nationwidenewsnetwork.com today.
Good evening, good evening. Thank you so much for staying with us here nationwide at 5. I'm Cliff Hughes.
And I'm Ricardo Brooks.
Well, we're going to turn now to the nation's business. And in the nation's business this evening, several CARICOM leaders toured parts of Hurricane Melissa ravaged parishes in the western end of the island today. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness hosted the CARICOM leaders and a high-level delegation of government ministers and officials. Among those on the tour today, the Tourism Minister Ed Bartlett, the Local Government Minister Desmond McKenzie, the Justice Minister Delroy Chuck, the Foreign Minister Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith, Education and Information Minister Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon, and Finance Minister Favour Williams. Dr. Wayne Henry of the PIOJ and Norman Brown, Chairman of the Housing Agents of Jamaica, were also in attendance.
Officials from the Caribbean Disaster Management Agency, the Development Bank of Latin America and Regional Security System, the World Bank and the IDB were also part of the tour. The Office of the Prime Minister says the convoy met at the Montego Bay Convention Center, left for Catherine Hall in St. James, and finished their tour in White House in Westmoreland.
Well, we're now being joined by the Information Minister, Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon. Good evening, Dr. Dixon.
Hello, Senator.
Hi, how are you? How are you both?
We're good. We're good. Well, we got our notification of the tour very late last night, so we were not able to mobilize to get there this morning. How did it go today?
I thought it went well. There are many of our Caribbean leaders here with us.
Who were those? Who were those in attendance?
Eye-opening. Pardon?
Who were those in attendance?
Oh, okay. I can tell you. I can go through the end. There's a little bit of my end because, as you know, I'm on the road, and so I'm hearing myself twice. But I'll just tell you for myself. Yeah, that's okay. So in terms of our Caribbean leaders who were here, we had PM Motley of Barbados. We also had President Ali of Guyana, had Gaston Brown of Antigua and Barbuda, and we had Dickon Mitchell of Grenada, and we President of the International Development Bank, and we had the head of the Secretary General of the Caribbean Community, CARICOM, and we had the head of CAF. We had Sedima here. There were many persons from the region, many senior individuals from the region here.
Mm-hmm. And what was your purpose here, Minister?
You know, our Prime Minister is the chair of CARICOM now. And Jamaica went through a Category 5 hurricane. And I think many of us wanted to stand in solidarity with Jamaica and to see the damage for themselves. And I think it was eye-opening for them. They did not expect what they saw. I think they knew it was bad, but they all said it is so much worse than they had even thought. So I think all of them in their comments said that they had to go back and mobilize more funds for Jamaica and support for Jamaica, having seen what happened.
Yeah. And it's well and good, Minister, for the leaders of the region to mobilize support for Jamaica, but your colleague, Cabinet Minister, the Climate Minister, Matthew Samuda, he's at COP and he's telling the big countries of the world that, look, you have to do more now, you have to do more. And so as a region, from where you sit, where the administration sits, what more can we do to let them know that this is serious? This is not just about roofs being lifted off, buildings being destroyed. This is about people's lives being absolutely devastated.
I think they got it today. There was a lot of silence. There was a lot of, oh my gosh, this is not what I expected. And so I think all of them understand the gravity of it. And when we were in Westmoreland, we were able to hear from the police force. We were also able to hear from the Member of Parliament, Dayton Campbell, was there too and speaking with them. And so they were able to get a feel of what's happening. And you see it. You pass and you see the houses that are just completely destroyed. house after house after house. And they were able to see the schools that have been damaged and the churches and all of these historic buildings across the country. And it was a wake up for them. And remember, we also had with us the president of the Inter-American Development Bank. And he commented that, he didn't understand, that when he heard 150,000 houses affected, he didn't get it until today. When he drove through Westmoreland and he saw the turmoil there, he got it. And he said, we are going to mobilize more money for Jamaica. And so seeing leaders and having leaders be here and see the damage for themselves, it is very different than us just articulating to the world, you need to support Jamaica. But we do need the support. And if you think about it, the damage is probably around $8 billion US. And we're going to get a more accurate number because our development partners are working on it. But that's just damage to buildings. That's not lost revenue from the tourism sector. I mean, it's huge. And if we look at all the money that has been pledged, that's both in loans and grants, we're only at a little bit over $1 billion US.
Yeah.
So we have a far way to go. The scale is huge.
And I just noticed that you have increased the estimated figure from 6 to 7 billion. You're now at 8 billion US.
Yes.
Whoa.
That's 1.2 trillion Jamaican dollars.
It is extensive. And remember, that does not take into account lost revenue.
Minister, the leaders, the regional officials, they traveled largely by road or air as well?
No, all by road.
So they
So
were
that
on the ground.
you get it's much more personal.
Yes.
And you see it. You see the rivers that are running through people's houses that weren't there before. I mean, you're looking into people's houses as you are driving on the road, and the road is the surface has affected quite a bit, so you're going very slow. So you get it, you feel it.
How were you all able to pull so many leaders together so quickly? You're talking about at least 2 dozen people involved there?
Yeah, it was several. I mean, when I look at my list of all the senior dignitaries, it's about 20 something that came in. And they wanted to support Jamaica. We have supported after other hurricanes. We're all in this together in the Caribbean. We understand it. We understand climate change. We understand hurricanes getting stronger. And so it's about us, standing in solidarity, especially with our Prime Minister as the head of CARICOM now, as the chair now. Even if we look at the PM of Grenada, he was speaking to when they had their hurricane and the response that was there and all the support that other Caribbean countries, including Jamaica, gave. He felt that he needed to help to mobilize additional linesmen to come in and help us here.
Minister, when you reflect on, today's trip, obviously, as Cliff said, mobilizing some of the regional leaders, but also just the broader support that we've been getting from the rest of the world. How do you assess Jamaica's foreign policy and our standing in the world?
Oh, we are regarded very highly globally. And you feel that and you see it. And even when you listen to the president of the IDB, remember last year we had both the president of the IDB and the World Bank visiting Jamaica. And this year, both pledged significant support. And when you hear them speak, they say Jamaica did the right things in creating fiscal space. They applaud us for the work we did. It was difficult work in getting the fiscal fundamentals there. And also for us having a risk management framework, because remember, we have these insurance policies. Yes, they're not enough, but at least we're not starting at zero. And so we are seeing in a very positive light in that way, that we've done everything as a country to fix our economy and to be resilient and to actually have funds available for a disaster. And then you look at us in terms of even COP. We are seen as a global leader in advocating for countries like Jamaica, small island states that are adversely affected by climate change. And so our standing internationally is really, really strong. And that's why we're getting the kind of support we're getting from all over the world.
Minister, in terms of the actual aid getting to those in need, how is that looking from where you were today on the ground?
On the ground, you're seeing entities like the World Kitchen that's doing warm meals, and you see them all across the parishes, the various parishes. Because as we went from Montego Bay and St. James into Westmoreland, you saw them at many different stops. We also saw some of the smaller charities like Ground Force that's working in parts of St. James that have not had much publicity. They are doing a lot of food packages for persons, especially in the hilly interior parts. And so we're getting food to people. We're getting the warm meals to people. Now, the real challenge now for us is about shelter. I think we're well on our way with the donors and with our own mechanisms through Ministry of Labour in getting food out, and with the JDF doing the drops and assisting in terms of the logistics. That's going much better. But the shelter problem is what we have to address now, and also the cleanup. There is so much debris. And we have to treat with that very quickly. And so I know the Minister of Local Government with NSWMA, there's a plan to clean up Jamaica. And that's very, very urgent that we have to do to prevent any kind of public health crisis.
Minister, I know the Cabinet was set to review some models for the provision of shelter. Are you able to say whether that was done and completed?
Yes, we did. We looked at some, and there are many others. There are many entities from around the world that have been reaching out to say, look at our solutions. The NHT is looking at several of those, and we feel that we can use many of them. So the question really is one of which one is the best one for our environment. It's very key that it can stand up to any kind of storm. So that's very, very important. So we're actually pretty advanced in that. And we're going to have to select an entity and order a lot of those temporary housing structures.
And Minister, any progress in terms of the National Overall Oversight Committee? Yeah? In terms of the
overall framework?
Yes, the National Oversight
For
Committee.
rebuilding. Okay,
Yes.
so that's been discussed at Cabinet. And we kind of the outline of something. We've worked with the World Bank and the IDB in particular in looking at how countries that have had disasters, major disasters, so what happened after Hurricane Katrina, after Japan's major earthquake, how do you rebuild from something major? And so we've gone through that, and we have a proposal on the table. We meet in Cabinet tomorrow to try to finalize a structure, and then after that we will be coming to you with that structure. But whatever structure it is going to be important that there is accountability built into it. We also have to ensure that reconstruction is done in a way that is resilient. So it can't be that we're rebuilding. You can't call it rebuild. It's like an entire imagining of Jamaica.
Minister, I want to take you now to the bigger part of your portfolio, education.
Oh, yes.
I heard Cliff having an interview this morning with the principal of Westwood high, and I think she said it was 200 or 300 million dollars was her projection.
298 million.
Call it 300
Initial.
million. Yes, initial. And I'm thinking to myself, my God, that's one school. I know you'd mentioned that the ministry was gonna start giving out some grants to help with the cleanup, but in terms of construction, how are you forecasting that? Because I know cabinet now the competition among the ministries and agencies to get funding. How are you balancing that in the budget?
Well, I know that my proposal is very well done and very detailed, so hopefully we'll be at the top of the line.
How much are you anticipating for the sector? Just about how much are you expecting for the entire sector?
I think the initial assessment we did, and remember it has to be refined because we've not been able to do the detailed assessment, was over $20 billion in damage to our schools.
Wow.
And that's the initial number.
Yeah. Wow.
It's a big number. Schools like Westwood, that's destroyed to a large extent.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Some that don't exist anymore. And then some that their roof gone, and we can fix that back. Maybe slab it this time instead of putting zinc on it. But it's a mixed bag, but it is extensive. The damage is extensive.
Hold on, Minister. You just said some schools have just been blown away?
They're missing. They're gone. They're gone.
Like which ones?
I went to Anchovy High. One of their campuses, there's no place for us to have school.
Yeah.
It just is not there.
And here is something I've been worried about as well, Minister. Some of these kids would have been affected by COVID-19. And now they're about to prepare for their external exams, and they've been struck by this thing again. I mean, I know you mentioned 10 schools, that could possibly be a short-term or medium-term solution. But in terms of the long term and ensuring that they have some kind of stability, because stability is going to be important. I remember when I was doing CXC and Cape as a wreck. So if I had to contend with a hurricane at the same time, I don't know how I would have done it. How are we factoring all of that into the picture?
It is very challenging.
And Minister,
challenging.
Just a total context is something I asked this morning. The students now sitting the regional exams, the Cape and the CXC, aren't they the COVID children as well?
Mm-hmm. Some of them.
They would have been, yes.
Oh my
All of them.
God.
All of them would have been. And so it's really traumatic. And even, so you have COVID, and then many of the schools would have been affected after Barry last year. So they went through a hurricane, even though it was offshore, it was still a hurricane. And then to go through this with many of them losing their homes, I mean, the trauma they would have gone through during the hurricane is real. Yeah. And so we're going to have to support them a lot. And they are a priority. Those doing external exams, so CSEC and CAPE, and those who are doing PEP, they are our priority. The good thing is we have about 650 schools that are open. There are 1,000 schools in Jamaica, but 650 of them are already open. Mm-hmm. The other where our concern is, and so I'm putting most of my mental energy on those. Mm-hmm. We're going to have to consolidate. So you may have 4 schools in an area, and the best one is the one we'll use for exam students. So you may have 4 different sets of children in one school. Looking at that. We're also looking at tents, if they're able to accommodate that. We're looking at even just tarping the roof in the interim, just to get them back out. Some schools we're having to go back to a shift system so that more of the students so you come in half day each day, but at least it gives stability. Many of our children, we don't talk about it, also rely on school for a meal.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Especially
and
those
so
on
our
path.
path students need to come to school.
Mm-hmm.
So we're working really hard. And even in Westmoreland, the teachers and principals, they are doing what they can. There are some people who are still in shelters, which are schools. So that's obviously another impediment to reopening in some cases. But we are working through that with local government to try to see how we can move those individuals into other facilities so that schools can resume.
What about the possibility, Minister, of some of the school or some of the students who, for example, may have a family friend, a guardian, who they could move it to Kingston with to go to another school who can accommodate them? Is that being considered?
That is, we're actually in the middle of that. So we call it hosting.
Yes, yes.
So there are several schools in Kingston that have put up spots at their school. And so if that is the case, if any parent in the West has a family member in Kingston, or it could even be in St. Catherine too,
yes,
and they're willing to keep that child for a while, we have schools that will take them. So please reach out to the Ministry of Education and we will place those children into a school.
Yes.
Yeah, happy to hear that.
Yeah.
Yes, and I'm very grateful to the schools that have accepted students. So it ranges from your Campion and your Immaculate, your Woolmers. Alpha has given many spaces, and we have Stats and Kingston Technical. The range of schools
Very good.
have all said we can give up some spots. And so as parents come in, we allocate students. We give them a school that will host them.
So if you're listening as a parent, if there's a parent listening and say, oh, I didn't know this, what should they do, Minister?
They just need to go to the regional office near to where they live, and they can just tell them, this is the child that I have, and I want to have them come into Kingston. If the relative in Kingston wants to come to our ministry, they can also do so, and they will be accommodated. We'll find a school. There are many schools that have been so gracious, and we'll place them.
Here is another uncomfortable one, Minister. Obviously, all our schools and all our children are not at the same pace and place. So within this hosting environment, if I come from the West and you place me at Immaculate girls may be farther ahead than I am. How do we manage that?
Well, we're going to have to manage it on a case-by-case basis. So as we put students in, our guidance counselors understand that we're going to have to work with them, because remember, these are children who are coming from the areas that were adversely affected. They would have seen a lot of devastation.
Yeah.
So our guidance counselors understand that and understand having to work with them.
Okay.
And the teachers and principals recognize that also, and will be working with them. And we're going to be offering support in terms of extra classes if it is needed, even in terms of uniforms. If that's needed, the ministry is going to work with our children to just get them as settled as is possible given the situation.
Yes. Minister,
Flexibility is the name of the game right now for us in education.
Right. Louisville, is it Louisville High School in Newmarket?
In Westmoreland.
Yes. I was chastised this morning that we have been talking about several other brand name schools, and a school like Louisville in Newmarket has been demolished, and we're not paying them any mind. Are you aware of that, one, Minister?
Yes, that's why I'm saying to you, there's some schools that there is no school opening. I mean, that's how devastated they are. So we have our list. It's about 600 schools that had damage, but in terms of the critical list, it's a little over 180 schools that are severely damaged. So it's a lot of schools.
Boy, I don't envy you, Minister.
And I kind of sorry for her, Cliff, because here's the thing. Information is usually the comfortable part of the portfolio. Information means that normally do enough. But now, here is Senator Dana Morris-Dixon.
I should have enough
education and information at a time like this. Yes.
It's what it is.
I'm wishing for your
just
strength,
do what
Minister.
You can.
Yeah.
Keep it up.
But the community, the schools are doing their best, and we have to recognize 600 and odd, 650 schools open.
Yeah.
It's good. They're trying. They really are trying.
All right. Senator Dana Morris-Dixon, the Minister of Education, Skills, Youth, and Information.
A lot on her plate.
Yeah. Too much.
Thank you, Minister.
Take care.
Thank you all. All
Good.
right, bye-bye.
It's 7 minutes after 7, you know.
It keeps unfolding every day, and it's 3 weeks ago, and you know we in this side tend to we're fine, we're gonna move on, but we're in for the long haul, you know. Probably 3 to 5 years, I think.
I put it at least 5 years. 5 years. Yeah.
I worry about those kids though, you know. I really this back-to-back shocks. I heard the principal of Stets, was it, saying that he thinks some of them might not bother with tertiary education.
Yeah.
I think I heard it in the newscast.
But to go through COVID and now this.
Major shocks. I don't know. I couldn't survive that. And CXC, PEP. Just think about the little ones, you know.
Yeah.
Just think about the little ones having to face PEP. And CXC and Cape, and you have to worry about where you're going to sleep, if you have clothes, how your parents are dealing, how you are dealing.
Yeah.
It is rough.
I saw a post by Venetia Phillips on Twitter this weekend. You saw it?
No.
Where she said she had gone to Westmoreland, and on her way back, it was raining. And she saw some little toddlers, children, huddling. Nowhere to shelter. In the rain. Nowhere.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I tell you.
And when I read that, I was in my house. A roof, a lot of space.
Comfortable. Yeah.
And it, you know, hard.
I tell you, the things I told you, the things I saw over those 2 days that I was in St. Elizabeth, I will never, ever forget those things. Never. As long as I live. It's horrible.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Let's go to the break and come back.
Jamaica's poverty rate has dropped from 16.7% to 8.2%. As the government's economic program begins to pay off, our country is heading towards sustained growth. We are building Jamaica. The time by the office of the Prime Minister is...
It's 10 minutes after 7.
Multi-link, access every time, everywhere I go. Multi-link, 24/7 access for me. It's just a win-win when we use multi-link. This card is Jamaican built, yeah. Fast and secure, you can use anywhere. Spend while supporting the economy.
Look for the Multilink logo on your card and benefit from Jamaica's largest debit payment network.
Multi-link, 24/7 access for me.
What would I do without my Multilink?
This Friday, November 21 from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., the nationwide team makes its first stop in Westmoreland on our Rebuilding Jamaica Post-Melissa Relief OB series. And we're broadcasting live from 2 locations, Maud McLeod High School in Darlaston and Marzuka Garage in Savannah Lamar. So we're calling all residents of Darlaston and surrounding communities, Cottage, Venture Hall, Betheltown, Caledonia, Leamington, and everyone in Savannah Lamar. Come out and join us. We'll be bringing care packages and more, while our partners, the National Health Fund, will offer free screenings. Come share your stories, talk with our hosts, and let Jamaica hear how you and your families are rebuilding after Hurricane Melissa. Nationwide 90 FM, helping to rebuild Jamaica one community at a time. This outreach is made possible by NHF, Marzuka Garage, NSWMA, and the Ministry of Labor and Social Security.
It's 12 minutes after 7 here in Jamaica. It's 12 minutes after 8 in the eastern Twin Island Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, where they are welcoming the arrival of the United States Marine Corps' 22nd Expeditionary Unit. Troops are set to be conducting nighttime training throughout the Twin Island Republic, with the Defense Forces from November 16 to 21.
And in a post on her official X account on Sunday, the Trinidadian Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar said that the collaboration reflects the deep and enduring security ties between the two countries. And she's saying the U.S. military involvement has already contributed to a reduction in the trafficking of guns, drugs, and humans into Trinidad. The new drills follow a week-long exercise with teams from Navy destroyer USS Gravely in late October.
And the Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro is warning that the joint military drills could threaten peace in the Caribbean. He made a comment on the weekend. Maduro is accusing the Twin Island Republic of authorizing what he says are irresponsible military exercises in waters off the Venezuelan coast. He says the drills project a threatening posture towards Venezuela.
Of course, his comments are coming, Cliff listeners, as the Trump administration continues an unprecedented military buildup in the Caribbean, in those waters off the coast of Venezuela. The kind of firepower the Trump Department of War has sent into the Caribbean waters, leading everybody to one conclusion, that he intends to remove Nicolas Maduro with force.
Yes. We have joining us now to give us the very latest from Trinidad and Tobago, Derek Ramsamouge. Good evening, Derek.
Good evening.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Good afternoon, Cliff. Last time I spoke with you was over 10 years ago.
Over what?
10 years ago.
10 years ago. Oh, dear. That was the run-up to the elections.
Yes, it was.
Yes.
First of all, my to the Jamaican family. I hope they're linked because...
No, the line's a bit bad. Can we try to sort that out, studio? We're joined by Trinidadian-based political analyst Derek Ramsamouge. We're discussing the military build-up off the coast of Venezuela, the Twin Island Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, their defense force conducting joint military exercises with Marines from the U.S. military. And of course, this comes as tensions are increasing between Venezuela and the Trump administration. The international media reporting that Donald Trump has been briefed on possible military options that he could take, in the coming days or weeks to topple the Maduro regime. And I think the last thing I heard from him was that he said that he was considering what to do and that the Venezuelans had asked for talks.
And he was going to talk with Maduro.
Yeah. So let's see how that goes.
Mm-hmm. Derek, are you back? No. We're trying to get back our political analysts on the ground there.
Yeah, but when I was listening, Cliff, to the range of military assets that, has been sent off the coast of Venezuela, I was thinking to myself, no.
When you were listening to Cliff Hughes Online?
No. It wasn't Cliff Hughes Online. It was an address in the U.S. Senate.
We played the clip.
Oh, you played the clip? Oh, well, no, I was watching the sitting of the U.S. Senate.
You?
But Cliff Hughes Online is a good show. I understand it's a good show.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's my understanding.
Adam
of it.
Schiff was
yes, the senator from California.
That was a clip we played.
Oh, okay. Yeah, man.
Yes.
And I thought to myself, wow, if he's not going to act, he certainly must be intimidating Maduro, and Maduro does seem afraid, begging for peace now.
And willing to talk.
Yeah, that's a lot of firepower.
And I would also imagine Maduro will know and understand that his army is no match for what Trump has amassed just off the coast of Venezuela.
Unless he's getting support from two well-known foes of the United States.
Ricardo, that could be a real spanner in the wheel.
Yeah, which could perhaps explain why Trump thinks, this firepower is necessary, because certainly he doesn't think he needs this to topple the Venezuelan army.
No.
It must be that their intelligence suggests that there's more in Venezuela that they'd have to respond to.
Exactly. And that would be coming from the Russians and the Chinese.
Derek is back with us. Derek Ramsamouge?
Yes, sir. Yes, gentlemen.
Yeah,
my apologies.
Derek, first of all, give us a sense of the sentiments in Trinidad and Tobago where this issue is tonight with the build-up that the Americans have amassed in the waters of Trinidad and Tobago and Venezuela?
Well, at this point in time, there is a clear lack of detailed information. You have the Prime Minister of the country making a pronouncement, and historically, Trinidad have always had military exercises ever so often with U.S. military personnel. So historically, there is nothing new with respect to Trinidad and the U.S. having joint sessions. What is different this time is the reality of our geopolitics. Globally and in the region, there is no uncertainty that the U.S. wishes to have regime change. The challenge is the lack of information and the lack of clarity, and where elements of our population do not trust what the Prime Minister is saying or what the U.S. authorities are releasing to our politicians in Trinidad and Tobago. So you have a crisis of confidence of what is being said. And there is also the public anxiety of the what-ifs. Whether it's going to be troops on the ground, boots on the ground, whether it's going to be the Trinidad and Tobago, its resources being used like airspace, or whether or not it's going to be a fait accompli, where we wake up one morning and President Maduro is no longer in office. Or, worst case scenario, you are in a prolonged conflict in which the United States have not successfully done what it wants to do by removing Maduro.
Yeah.
And we have to ask ourselves, after Maduro, who or what? Let's not forget, the military is one of the largest employers in Venezuela. And let's not forget, the oil sector is also important to the Venezuelan economy. And the mobilization of your population to pick up arms and to put that capacity along your coastline can create a perennial problem. So the U.S. will probably adopt the language of being narco-terrorists, thereby allowing the U.S. president to pursue what he wishes, because to declare war for the U.S. to declare war against Venezuela will require some political strategizing. And I think that's going to be a difficult whistle.
Let me take you back to the question of information sharing, because the interviews I've seen with your foreign minister, Sobers, and the Homeland Security Minister, his name Alexander, I think his name is, whenever they're being questioned, they don't necessarily seem to know what's going on. And I wonder if that's just a deliberate strategy to remain coy about what's happening, or do you get the sense that they really don't know what the Trump administration has planned?
Let's be clear. Does the Trump administration have confidence in a Kamala Prasad administration to share confidential knowledge? And that's one of the issues. But let me thank you first for reaching out, because I think CARICOM has to play a special and different role. We need to have not just prime ministers, but opposition leaders throughout the CARICOM countries coming to have a discussion as to the position adopted by Trinidad and Tobago government. You don't have to look too far. Just look at Haiti, When CARICOM does not participate in keeping our democracy strong and keeping our system strong, and we are influenced by outside forces due to geopolitical objectives, that will not augur well for CARICOM's development. So it's not just a question of a Prime Minister adopting a position and ignoring CARICOM.
Yeah.
There are going to be consequences.
Yes, there are going to be consequences, Derek, but the reality is Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar has taken a very hard-line position, almost dismissive of our CARICOM colleagues. She has played her hands. She's all in with the Trump administration. Yes?
And if we look at the geopolitics between the Republican-type parties and the Democrat-type classes, the strongest Prime Minister we have with a relationship with the Republican parties is Andrew Holness. And we must clearly understand, while you may have one Prime Minister on a pathway alone, there may be consequences to the rest of the countries.
But
and let's understand this. We saw what happened in Grenada many decades ago. We saw what happened in Haiti. We are going to have migrational problems in Trinidad if this situation in Venezuela gets out of hand. And we're going to have larger energy crisis problems. So the region will stand not to be at an advantage.
But how are those issues being played out in Trinidad and Tobago? What not only the opposition, PNM, but what is civil society, organization, structures, what are they saying?
Very little.
Oh?
Very, very little. What you had today was a press conference by the former Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Rowley, who sought to address these issues by putting the historical story forward of what happened and what are the consequences. But this is the first conversation per se, because the media has been plagued by the influence of the government. So one of the challenges, a lack of information, a lack of trust in the messages, and a lack of understanding what are the next steps. What happens if you move Maduro and you have instability in the political system in Venezuela? What is the end result?
You could have mass migration to Trinidad.
You could have continuation of migration to Trinidad, and from Trinidad to Barbados and to Jamaica.
Right? And not only mass migration to Trinidad, Derek Ramsey-Moose, Ricardo, you could have elements stoking social and political instability in Trinidad and Tobago.
And that is why you're opening the door for instability and putting the countries at risk. You have political risk, economic risk, social risk. Trinidad does not have the capacity to protect its borders. We do not. And the Caribbean does not. So we are in a geopolitical space to really become satellites of the United States, losing our independence and sovereignty in reality. And that is why we need to have a collective position. And you cannot say that other CARICOM countries abdicate their responsibility. Remember the Federation. Remember what occurred in the Federation. So the 50 years of the region trying to become unified and working together. as an economic bloc will disappear overnight.
But isn't that exactly the point? That over these 50 years, we've done a relatively poor job at it. So at the moment where we need to be banding together and showing strength insofar as we can show strength as a regional bloc, that's not happening.
Well, maybe a crisis can act as a catalyst to stimulate a change of our geopolitical position. If not, all the nonsense about our states becoming sovereign and having their own governor, having their own president or head of state is just empty words without any substantial meaning. We need leaders in the Caribbean with backbone. And
not only backbone, you know, Derek, but a grasp and a sense of the history and the geopolitical dynamics that are at play now.
But look at the quantity of educated persons who are certified professionally. And are you telling me these professional qualified people don't have the political capacity to do what is in the interest of their people?
But gentlemen, are we being unfair to Kamla Persad-Bissessar? Because I've listened to her, and her position seems to be all this talk about sovereignty and, you know, unique destiny, individual destiny will mean nothing unless we can get a handle on the fact that guns are flowing across borders in this region, porous borders, and as Derek said, sorry?
That is not the issue.
But isn't that what she's trying to address? The fact that Trinidad, as you said, cannot protect its borders. She seems to have a friend in Donald Trump who, whether you agree with his methods or not, are helping her to confront the alleged narco terrorists. Are we taking her position seriously enough?
My question is, who are the end users? Who are the end users? Who are the purchasers? And I'm not saying we don't have a narco problem in the Caribbean, like many other countries, or money laundering. But that is being used as a pretext to get into the geopolitics and the energy space and the energy resources of Venezuela. Let us not be leaders who are ostriches, putting their head in the sand.
It's about the energy resources of Venezuela. That's what it is about.
It's about dollars and cents and energy corporations. And there's an excuse being put forward, right? But look at who are the end users of these drugs, and it comes from different geographic spaces beside Venezuela. But to believe a narrative without dealing with the facts is bad leadership.
Yeah. Then there is the little matter of what's happening in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Derek Ramsamouz. A full-blown political row has now erupted between Prime Minister Ralph Gonsalves and his Unity Labour Party versus that of the PNM and Keith Rowley, and over this matter of Victoria Keys apartments. Explain what is happening there.
What is happening there is political investors. Let's be honest, you have political investors who back Party A or Party B, which in some cases Party Red or Party Yellow. And they move up and down the region, looking to acquire real estate by buying political influence. And that is happening. It has happened throughout the CARICOM countries. We will see that turning its head up in St. Lucia, maybe Dominica, as we've seen in Trinidad, Barbados. So the other perspective about the houses, let's be clear. Ralph Gonsalves' wife is a Trinidadian, and his children with that lady are Trinidadians by birth. And the HDC also have houses that are available on the open market. And that was what was sold. What happened are some of the operatives in political campaigns who worked in Trinidad moved to other jurisdictions. So it's part of trying to create political strategy to influence voters.
Yeah.
And that's a reality. In Trinidad, we had Jamaican consultants come down to run the campaign.
Yeah. In Trinidad.
In Trinidad's last campaign.
Yes.
So and there's nothing wrong with that, because under the CSME skill sets, you can move up and down the region and practice your trade. Right? And again, the media tend to be influenced by the politicians and create stories which are legitimate but only give one perspective of the story. Remember, Ralph Gonzalez, too, was also part of the whole Petrocaribe, Venezuela, Chavez type arrangement.
Yeah.
And I believe the gentleman has been in politics for quite a couple of decades. What is interesting is the line minister took confidential equipment, confidential documentation, and put it in the public space. So the integrity of your private information being used by a politician in the public media does not augur well for governance. So there are much deeper issues.
Okay. Thank you very much, Derek Ramsamouj. You still do polling, Derek?
Yes, my friend. That's where I know you from.
Yes, yes.
And it's been 10 years. But I'm more looking now at climate finance and looking at how the world is changing towards carbon credits.
This is the Derek Ramsamouj who was the only pollster to correctly forecast the outcome of that by-election in St. Mary.
And the general elections of 2016.
Yes, I remember. Mr. Ramsamouj, I have great respect for your work. I recall that by-election. Was it Southeast St. Mary?
So,
yes, it was
Dr.
Shane Alexis versus Dr. Yes.
Yes.
Ah, okay.
I do miss Jamaica for what it's worth.
Yes.
I do miss Jamaica. Anyway, I hope the Jamaican families rebuild their society and their communities and bear in mind the climate challenges we will have.
Of course. Thank you very much, Derek Ramsamouj.
All the best, sir.
Good.
Just like that.
Good.
Yes, I remember.
It just clicked in your head.
Yes, I remember because I remember, but nobody else saw that coming.
And he was polling mainly for the JLP.
Yes. Well, I didn't know that, but yeah. Okay.
All right. Let's go to the break and come back with your calls now. 876-630-93-7124 or 876-618-6730.
Dear listeners, trying to reach us? Contact us at 876-618-6731 for updates, assistance, or general queries. We appreciate your patience and look forward to connecting with you.
Hi, I'm Lori Gale from Oasis, advising of a change in our program focus, November 5 to 18. We do a shift from reading the Word to living out the Word. Host Roland Gale will speak with heads of churches regarding their intervention in getting our lives back on track following Hurricane Melissa. Be sure to join Roland and his guests on Oasis beginning Wednesday, November 5, 12:55 p.m., with a repeat at 5:45 a.m. only on Nationwide, the new revolution in media. Let's all be praying for our nation.
We're on the final lap now. My name is Ricardo Brooks.
And I'm Cliff Hughes.
We're taking your calls at 630-9371-4, 618-6730. Omalo.
Hey, good evening, Ricardo. Good evening, Cliff.
Good evening.
I want to address two things, but let me just address something that in that interview just a while ago. A statement was made that the Prime Minister of Jamaica is closer to the Republican Party. Where is the evidence of that?
Well, historically, certainly going back to the 1980s.
No, we have to deal with...
No, hold on. I want to start there and then bring you forward. The Jamaica Labour Party has had a better working relationship with Republican administrations. That's one. Two, for better or worse, Donald Trump seems to like Andrew Holness. When he convenes Caribbean leaders, he almost always invites Dr. Holness. And since he's been in office, several high-ranking members of his administration have visited Jamaica. They seem to have a very good working relationship.
And that is what you base. And that is what you.
I didn't say it, Ramsamoud said it, but I'm saying it's not far-fetched. I don't think it's far-fetched.
I don't like that.
Why?
I'm really not going to accept.
Isn't it a good? Isn't it a good thing that our Prime Minister has a good working relationship with the U.S. President?
It's not what we like, though. It's not what we like, though. What's Omalu? It is what it is. It is what it is. Historically, and more recent vintage, yes, the Republican Party of the United States has had a much closer working and fraternal ties with the Jamaica Labour Party, the young Republicans and the young Labourites.
As is the case with the Conservatives in Britain.
Exactly. While the Democratic Party has had much stronger fraternal relations with the People's National Party. Yes?
Because of the ideological outlook.
Yes. There's a story, Omalu, there's a story, for example, that has been told, but not very well told, that after we ran into problems with the International Monetary Fund agreement towards the end of the Golding administration in 2011, 2007, 10-11, and Jamaica's standing with the International Monetary Fund and the multilaterals.
It was
was at a low.
It was some Democratic Congresswomen.
The story is it was the PNP leadership ties, Portia Simpson Miller's ties,
Maxine Walters,
with a congresswoman, a veteran congresswoman out of California,
Maxine Walters, assisted by Yvette Cooper, I think her name is.
Who really appealed to them and said, listen,
you have to help Jamaica.
You have to help Jamaica. And they intervened and whispered into the ears of the people at the IMF and paved a way for us to come back with a deal that was palatable.
So facts are just facts, Omalo. It's not whether you like it or not.
Just a minute.
And I suppose it's because you probably don't like Donald Trump, so it makes you uncomfortable.
No, it's not a matter of don't like something. I just don't like an open statement without evidence behind
I see.
it.
Well,
and the thing that I would say is that I understand all that you are saying, Cliff, but we must also remember 1976, there was a Democrat in power when there was a socialist democratic movement in Jamaica, and what happened during that period of time also too. But let's just leave that alone.
I don't understand the relevance of that, but
the relevance of that, it was Democrats in
Yeah,
power.
but the
it was
Carter
PNP in
administration,
power.
but the Carter administration certainly did not take as aggressive a stance against Jamaica as the Reagan administration did.
The Reagan administration never had to do that because Michael Manley came, Seago came in power almost in the same time that Reagan came in power.
But Omalu, you should also understand that parties have party-to-party relations. Yeah,
we understand that.
When you are in government, it doesn't necessarily mean that you take the same positions because governments have to deal with governments. So Jimmy Carter, yes, was president of the United States during the second term of the Michael Manley administration, and Michael Manley and President Carter had a good working relationship, and certainly Carter was not a hawk.
Didn't he have him at the White House?
Yes, he met him at the White House, and Carter was not a hawk. Yes, so
as the likes of Kissinger and them were.
Kissinger was a hawk.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move to what I really want to talk about, Cliff, and finish up on it in a quick term. There is an organization, or there is a charity being done by the People's National Party leadership.
I don't know. What are you talking about?
Isn't there the People's National Party set up their own website as to collect charitable donations?
I'm not aware of that. I don't know.
You're not aware of it?
No.
Oh, so there is none then?
I don't know. I can't say there's none. I don't know. There may very well be one, but I'm just not aware of it. I've heard of it.
Well, then, I maybe jumping the gun. So what I'll do, I'll definitely try and dig deeper.
I did see somewhere that the PNP had set up a GoFundMe fund online, but I haven't seen any evidence of it except a post by someone. So I can't put much store into that.
If there is, what I would be suggesting, because we're calling for oversight, yeah? And I think if an MP is an MP for a constituency, and we have heard that charitable things are coming into Jamaica, and it may well have been given to the People's National Party for distribution, yeah, based on statements that are made that they are giving things to the PNP, yeah. Is it that we should have something where an oversight as to how distributions are done by MP in their constituency? Because if you're an MP, you're not MP just for the PNP in your constituency. You're MP for the whole people and everybody inside your constituency.
And that's why I've never liked the idea of these things being channeled through MPs. Because inevitably, what them say, passing
Christening Pitney Foss.
Yeah, it going creeping. So I've never liked the idea, but I suppose the argument is that the politicians know the people and they're on the ground, and so, yeah. But I've never liked the idea for that very reason.
I hope the same sentiment of politicians knowing the people, politicians know the criminals inside the community also to hand them over to the police. Thank you very much, Cliff and Ricardo.
All right, Tomado. Yeah, I never liked it, but I guess it's what we have to do, eh? Don?
Hello, hi.
How are you?
I am thankful, and how are you?
I'm all right.
Hey, Cliff.
Hi, good evening, Don.
Good evening. Tell me some, Ricardo, before I go to what I call about. You draw?
If me draw? As in draw down or draw? Which one?
You never hear draw someone morning I'm talking about draw first. All time people say when you lose it, they say you draw.
Then me ask if me draw that, but me when they say draw down, me don't know. Probably stress out. Cleaver stress me out, so probably.
You look like you draw. Listen, gentlemen.
I'll take that.
I call to speak a little about Baye Principe.
Yes.
My children have reservations for coming to Baye Principe for the Christmas.
Oh.
And just Friday, they got a letter to say that Baye Principe will not be reopened until the 10th of December 2026. So they are asking that they will take credit and they will be paid. They will not be refunded until 30 working days. But that is in the letter. But however, they call them now to say what they are recommending them to do is to go to Baye Principe in Damret.
Oh. Yeah. So they're rerouting the reservations there.
Yes, and they're not going to Domrep. They're coming home.
Oh, okay.
And remember, Domrep also had hurricane as well.
Yeah.
So it is not a situation where Jamaica was devastated, but Domrep nothing happened there.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder what is going to happen because they have the money for 6 rooms.
Oh. So they're saying they won't refund it, they'll just send them to Domrep?
No, they're saying if they are going to refund them, then they are going to do it 30 working days before that is done. Remember, they have airline reservation and everything. They not just have the reservation for the hotel and the money fee already. So it is a lot of back things. You have reservation for travel, for flights, and you pay your money to this hotel. And it is just Friday they recognize that they are not going to open until 2026, December 10. I think the government needs to get into it because it's just not good. And then no, they're not telling them, they write them about rerouting them now. This is a verbal conversation.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Now, what do we do in times like these, with things like these, when all of your money gone like that?
Mm-hmm.
They're supposed to be coming down for Christmas.
Yeah.
6 rooms, and you know it's not penny.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, clearly, the whatever is happening with Bahia Principe and the resort is moving. Is a moving target right now.
And the communication is poor.
Yeah, and they're not sure where they're going to be come tomorrow. Tomorrow you may hear that after all, we're going to have a temporary closure for a few months. Yeah.
So, yes, but that's just not good, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And they wait until the 9th hour to say because it's from last year. They must have realized that the place was so extensively damaged that they couldn't. And then they want to send people to Domrep. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Why would you want to go to Domrep when Jamaica need rebuilding? Come on.
Well, that is an internal economic decision, you know, but they keep the money in the group. That's not about Jamaica now. That's not about Jamaica now, Don. It's about keeping the money in the group.
Yeah, but
exactly.
We have to think about yard.
Exactly.
Pastor Christian Pickney first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We're just talking about Pastor and Pickney, you know, so Pastor and Christian Pickney first.
Yeah.
So, but, well, I'm listening and thank Nationwide for bringing these things to my attention, that we're hearing what is happening.
Yes.
Because, and you know, we don't have any internet. You know, every day our internet go from Dave. All no Turner is on my TV, on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
From she reading the news at 12, it went. The internet went. And it's a daily thing.
Oh, dear.
And it is slow every day. And you know the hurtful thing, my neighbor will have the other people have internet.
You have to say the hurtfulest thing.
The hurtfulest thing.
Hurtfulest thing.
I tell you, it hurt my body now.
We know them with them, man, especially when you're like Ghanaians in neighbor get back later, I say, what is this?
I'm here to wait what is happening, I'm pay my bill.
Yes, man.
No, it's not good at all. You can imagine in these days you have no internet.
Yeah. It's like a human right now, you know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kids talk to winner. Remember them afraid for you know. Everyone going on, I have to say, as me can't get through, you know, I have to say me going to Cliff Hughes, you know, you want to help with me get through.
Oh, God, don't pimp me out.
You know, when I got to the bank, I went to the bank last week, you know, and I tell you, gloves treatment, cause them last time I tell them, say I'm going to call Cliff. And I enough my bulldog.
You must not abuse me.
But Cliff, you know, it's not abusing her. The fact of the matter is, people want them here nationwide and Cliff, you things change. Well, you see, Cliff, you so long me invest in this place. Ricardo, you know, I was in the one room with Cliff. And the AM band. You know, my see them coming home and we just drop off. Poof.
Boof. All right, Dad.
We must ride home with him. Car ride. So please make you talk to Flo for us now, please. Thank you.
All right, Flo. Which area are you in?
Portmore.
Portmore. But Portmore big enough. All of Portmore, Dad? All of Portmore? Which part of Portmore? Portmore big enough?
In the Independent City area.
Independent City in Portmore.
City area was taking Gregory Park, Independent City,
Yeah.
Waterford, that general area.
So, Flo, your customers in Independence City, Portmore, Waterford, they are having daily, you say, a problem with their internet.
Every day.
Every
Thank you,
day.
Bless.
Come on, Flo, you have to do better than that. Yeah? Come on, Flo, do better than that. All right, Don, let me know how it goes. All right.
Carl?
Evening, Ricardo. Evening, Mr. Hughes.
Good evening, Carl.
Ricardo?
Hey.
I heard Mr. George Wright complaining about what is happening in Westmoreland. I'm going to tell you. Now drive for your vehicle and put on one all water boot and one all shirt and do something. And take a drive up into another in Clarendon and you see how politics are run up there. So.
What's happening up there?
And that's, me tell you, see if you go investigate that one, I mean, I get no more.
Okay.
Anyhow, Mr. Hughes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you're there on long enough. You never know, so we don't live to see one hurricane blowing at Jamaica. IMF get a hotel, we say we know, the way we're doing good, we're not even want funds for them.
At this time.
At this Ricardo,
very
man.
important. At this time, very important.
Ricardo, you know why we have to go there? Ricardo, if I did the 990s, we'd have gone for it Friday after hurricane.
You mean the night? The night?
When I take bad things, may laugh. It is true. It is true.
Remember,
we were the basket case is what they used to call us.
Yes.
They used to. There was a running joke. Jamaica feel it.
And the private decided that I could have tell you, say, man, an ATM machine.
Yeah.
Hey, we go through some indignity, you know.
Yes. The same Kamla.
Yes.
The same Kamla.
By the way, did you know she used to teach here?
Yeah.
Did you know that? Apparently, she taught at St. Andrew High for girls, and she also taught at UMONO.
Yeah.
She's a teacher.
Okay.
So that Mr. Hughes. We come far, man.
Yes, that is true.
Mm-hmm.
That is true.
And I don't know if you hear 6 o'clock news. It's about 6 and 7 o'clock this morning news. How the crime rate is looking very good.
Yeah, but keep our fingers crossed because I am a little worried about that might spike.
Yeah, I understand you. But Mr. Hughes, even at the moment where we is, we can almost clap on.
Mm-hmm.
Where we're at
Because
40% now?
Yes. We can clap on, Mr. Hughes, man. No, Mr. Hughes, we can clap on, sir.
Right.
First time, Mr. Hughes, when we did one, call it 44 days, the end of the year, or something left. And we know the 1,000 are already.
Yes.
We can clap on, Mr. Hughes.
Yes. That is a big improvement, sir.
Yes, sir.
Big improvement.
Anyhow, the last thing me I left. Mr. Hughes, you know, so me think, 50 minute lifespan me have left to live, me don't know when. Me take me the top here, Grenade a man name a call pan radio station at night time, Trevor Monroe.
We're out of time, Carl. Goodbye. You were going so well. You know, I said to myself, if not gonna bring it up, thank God. You were doing so well.
Ricardo,
why are you spoiling for? Why are you spoiling?
I hear you with the news this evening. I said to myself,
Ricardo
man must run past.
I did. When I was editing the story, I said, what your call tonight? And when you never start with it, I say, okay. And then you move to something else, I say, all right, improvement. You ruined it. Goodbye, Carl. A 41% reduction in murders. 412 fewer people have been killed so far.
Up to this point?
Yeah, up to November 16. We've
Wow.
recorded 591 homicides.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a significant reduction.
So we may end up at about 650?
Yeah, thereabout, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That would be a record for many years.
Many, more than 30 years.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Significant.
Yeah. All right, Carl. Take care. To all of our callers or YouTubers or WhatsAppers and our tweets. That's where we're going to leave it for this Monday evening. Yes, thanks to our producer, Dana Davey, our technical operator, Damien Cunningham, and of course members of the news and production team. I'm Cliff Hughes.
And I'm Ricardo Brooks.
Reminding you, take care of your loved one and look out for your neighbor. Good evening.
This Friday, November 21 from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., the Nationwide team makes its first stop in Westmoreland on our Rebuilding Jamaica Post-Melissa Relief OB series. And we're broadcasting live from 2 locations, Maud McLeod High School in Darlaston and Marzuka Garage in Savannah Lamar. So we're calling all residents of Darlaston and surrounding communities, Cottage, Venture Hall, Betheltown, Caledonia, Leamington, and everyone in Savannah Lamar. Come out and join us. We'll be bringing care packages and more, while our partners, the National Health Fund, will offer free screenings. Come share your stories, talk with our hosts, and let Jamaica hear how you and your families are rebuilding after Hurricane Melissa. Nationwide 90 FM, helping to rebuild Jamaica one community at a time. This outreach is made possible by NHF, Marzuka Garage, NSWMA, and the Ministry of Labor and Social Security.